Oh, I just remember that I need to do. I've got 10 experience points. So I was gonna
Yep.
give myself Fortitude 2.
Sounds good.
I think because you say it's what 5 times your discipline
Yeah.
level.
If it's an discipline, yeah,
Yeah, it's an
and that
incline.
is
I
so.
have Fortitude base.
Yep.
Um, so, um, if I could just, I think it's
Ugh.
toughness too. That's what I was looking for.
I don't remember, but they're on my list in the database thing. Discipline powers, fortitude,
Yeah.
toughness. Yep. Vampires with this
So,
power
so
exhibit an innate ability to ignore damage that would otherwise inconvenience and even disable others of their kind. While this power alone gives no protection against banes and other aggravated damage, the protection it confers adds in the long run. Costs a rouse check, and then you subtract the fortitude of the defender from all superficial damage sustained.
okay. So, like, if I spend my 10 XP to boost my Fortitude from 1 to 2, then I get to pick one of the um
Yeah, you can
Fortitude
either take that or you
add
can
them,
take the other one that you didn't get yet.
or I could take the other one that I didn't get, which is Resilient.
Resilience, which would raise your hit point track by as much as your fortitude.
That would move that boost it by 2, which is
Mm-hmm.
also nice. But I think I'd benefit more from the ability to
Yeah.
reduce damage.
Generally, the level 2 is better than the level 1, but,
Yeah.
you know.
So I'm gonna boost that, and then I'm just gonna give. I'll put in the text toughness,
Okay.
and then I guess I just paste from the
Sure.
like copy and paste from this into
And I believe that Craig
those.
also learned
Arrow Whispers.
Feral Whispers. Okay. Our first scene is going to be only 3 days later, and then we're going to jump farther. So, in this first scene, 3 days later, neither of you have that yet. It's something that
Got
you'll get,
it.
uh, as we jump farther. Okay, so we will start with the first recap. The kindred world of El Paso has turned in upon itself, gone to ground. It was hard to get an audience with Valentina even before the world came crashing down around her, and now it's that much worse. Still, word does reach her, and eventually Speedy sets up the meeting. 3 nights later, the Spines of the Cactus and Adriana Estrada have finally gotten a meeting with Baron Valentina, or Baroness, if you want to honor Emily. Emily always called her Baroness. And we are in a city park. And Baron Valentina is cleaned up. You have never seen her cleaned up. She's cleaned up, fully dressed, and looks like a normal person. Speedy is in military fatigues with his resting angry face, as he always has. And we open the scene in this city park, and you guys are meeting on a park bench.
Valentina.
Yep.
So this is our meeting with Valentina.
Yep, this is the meeting with Valentina. Sit down. Come, sit down.
So, by the way, some of the things that Sestonn, that I told you that Hector would have probably wanted to discuss with her, I'm not sure that he would do in the presence of the other members of the Spines.
Yep, that's fine then. You can talk to her later.
Yeah. Just to make sure, you did say I was there.
Yep, you're all here.
Everybody's here.
And this is how long after the disappearance of Emily?
3 nights.
3 nights.
This is
Baroness,
3
how
nights
are
since you guys had the disappearance of Emily. You explained what happened to Prince James. He has pretty much told everybody to go to ground, and everybody is in the process of going to ground.
And we've already relayed this to Valentina.
This is your first time speaking to her in person since then.
Okay.
She's never easy to come in contact with.
Okay. Baroness, thank you for this meeting. Thank you for seeing us.
Yes, yes.
By now, I'm sure you've heard about Emily's capture.
Yeah. What happened?
We were told she was with Adriana.
Okay, I guess
Is that right?
Adriana's not here because AO didn't come, so I invited her to come.
Okay.
We don't need her if she didn't come. So
Okay. Well, Emily and Adriana were underground at Emily's spot.
Mm-hmm.
And when Adriana woke up, they had FBI agents had raided the place and stolen Emily away. We went in search of where we found there was a hidden base. Adriana managed to escape, and we managed to track down her escape route backwards and find the place. But they were packing up when we got there already. We weren't sure where Emily had been taken, and frankly, we were outmanned, so we couldn't immediately raid. Although we suspect she was already gone by the time we got there, and that's where we're at.
Okay. And you explained this to Prince James, I assume?
Yes.
Everything seems to be falling apart. So that is...
He circled the wagons, yes.
Well,
There is now an absolute, very strict ban on technology, to my understanding. I don't know if anybody else here can, has a better way to articulate it.
yeah, the Ventru, the Toreador. This is the kind of thing that really bothers them.
It is effectively a full technology ban, I think is the best way to say it now. Or I guess I should rather say technology really means communication. Anything that can be monitored in any way or possibly discovered in any way. So not just stuff that the internet. I'm not sure how much you used it. I doubt
I
it.
don't even know what that is, but Emily
Perfect.
did things
Well, you
for
never
me.
need to learn.
Yeah. Emily
But,
did some things for me and for James. So.
and we believe that's what got her caught by the humans. So
Seems like it.
anything that uses the internet, anything that uses cell phone communication towers, anything that can be basically communicates or stores information, even if someone didn't use something that communicated, but they still had, we'll say hypothetically, for some reason, stuff that pointed to them being kindred on a computer isolated from, any system. If they were later found, of course, the humans could access and then use that against them.
All of these things were banned already.
Yes, it's just I think we now know the full means of how they can be used against us.
Okay.
I'd just like to highlight
I don't
something,
have
Baroness.
full understanding of these technologies. What's that, Hector?
I think the I don't know if any of my colleagues have better evidence, but to me, this whole thing about Emily kind of, about her dealing with technology, being the reason that she got taken and she got herself caught or whatever, to me, that's pure speculation. I don't see any evidence. Like, I haven't personally seen any evidence to suggest that, other than she's good with technology. But as you said, Emily has done things for you. Emily has done things for Prince James. Emily has done things for us, and just kind of selflessly put herself out there time and again to help all of us. And so, part of me feels like, everybody's starting to say, "Oh, she brought this on herself." It's kind of like a way for us to be okay with leaving her hanging. And I personally, I'm not good with that. It really bothers me, and I'm wondering if there's anybody, are there any kind of thoughts, anybody that might be able to help us track her down and rescue her.
We're working on that already. Doesn't look good. They seem to be 2 steps ahead of us. Had this whole thing planned. When Adriana escaped from their prison, from their base, they immediately moved it. No.
So who's working on it, if I may ask?
Quite a few people. Different
Okay.
aspects.
Well, I mean, this goes without saying, Baroness, but anything you find that you think can be a legitimate lead to her, please come to us.
Okay. We'll put you on the top of the list.
Thank you. I mean, remember, the Spines of the Cactus is we're the Watchman group for this area, but it's supposed to be collaborative, and I want to make sure the Anarchs also are as tied in as the Camarilla are.
I think we have been. How about Baron Vincent? Have you spoken with him yet?
I warned him that that this had happened. Yes, I went there to quickly advise him, and then I was out of there. Out of character. That's what happened, right? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
The
you
next
did.
night. Yeah. You wanted to do it that first night, but instead you needed to spend time deprogramming your ghouls. So the first thing you did the next night was go to Vincent and Enriquez and whoever else you had that you needed to, and you also tried to go to Valentina, but she lives out in the fucking desert and it's not that easy to get in contact with her.
Right.
Speedy is pretty much your channel to her. Speedy and Emily was.
Yep. Well, yes, I have notified Vincent. Quickly, I notified him I didn't stick around and see what he was going to do with it or anything, but I let him know.
Okay.
It's my understanding Prince James was going to send somebody as well, but I personally took care of it just because he's an Anarch and I feel I owe him that.
Yeah. He's an Anarch too. Okay, well. Does anyone have anything else that you need to tell me?
Who else is, by the way, out of character again, who else is in the room? Is it just us and her?
Well, it's not a room, it's a park. It's a city park outside.
Park, right.
But, yeah, you're all here.
Just us and her?
Jessica might not be here because I don't know if she's present, but...
I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah, so you're all here. Adriana.
I mean, from Valentina's side. Is Valentina there?
Valentina and Speedy are here.
Okay.
That's all you see. Speedy brought you guys here. You guys went to him. He told you how this came set up was Speedy told you guys that he had a time to meet for you guys to meet with Valentina, and then you met with Speedy, and then he took you to the park. And she was difficult to recognize at first because she doesn't look like a wild woman who's been living in the desert.
Right?
Oh, man.
Well, we'll do what we can to find her, to avenge her, to protect everyone. So it's going to be trying times. But it doesn't change too much about the way the gang will live. We weren't big on technology. We weren't big on operating in the cities and running with our businesses and all of this other nonsense. Ventru, the Toreador, they just ask for this to happen to them. Playing with humans the way they do.
Yeah, unfortunately, it fell back on the Anarchs, though.
Yeah, unfortunately. The Bruja play with these humans too. And then she stands up and just starts walking away. Like, it seems like we're done. If nobody has anything else to say.
Thank you.
Who else, by the way, is no? Actually, so I'm gonna look at the rest of the group and say, "I'll be right back," and I kind of follow after her.
Okay.
All right.
She glances over her shoulder and sees you coming. Something else, Hector?
Yes, Baroness. So this I kind of wanted to keep between us and ask your counsel.
What's that?
We are anarchs, and we reject this rule of the Camarilla generally. Do we not?
Yes, that's why we live out here, outside the city.
I'm starting to become a little bothered. I mean, or maybe confused about this situation. For instance, with the spines of the cactus, and even the way the anarchs roll. You know, in this kingdom, I was originally told we coexist with Prince James. You know, and
It's pretty much
because
the case, yes.
But I'm starting to be bothered a little bit, like with this latest. Like, for instance, some high-ranking Camarilla lady comes in and decides to insert basically a human chaperone over Krieg.
Okay.
And then this chaperone, who's a human, you know, basically going on the rank of this Camarilla kindred lady, you know, gets to follow us around and be in rooms with us, and I'm being told hands off of him, and in some way I have to listen to him. And this to me is starting to become a situation where we are at the mercy. It's like we're saying we're not Camarilla, but we're accepting the rule of the Camarilla and their decisions.
Are
And, you know,
not working for the Camarilla? As a
I
coterie?
thought that the spines of the cactus was a joint effort
Joint
between
means
anarchs.
that you were working for them and you were working for us. Correct?
Sure. But I mean, my agency, my membership in that group is supposed to be on behalf of the anarchs, to represent the anarchs.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot lately it's become kind of the right hand of the Camarilla, and we just answer to them. And that's putting me in a confusing position, especially where, you know, again, I know Prince James. He's been good to us. I respect him. But now random Camarilla are coming in and exercising their power and influence over, you know, non-Camarilla. And that's just troubling.
Your coterie is not non-Camarilla.
But if they're both, then why are they listening to only one side?
Are they listening to only one side? None of my orders need go through you.
So then are you saying that if Prince James tells me something, then it's been discussed with you?
Most of the time, I suppose. Maybe not always.
Okay.
He speaks with my voice quite often. I was his sheriff for 83 years. We know each other very well. Baron Vincent, on the other hand, is a third party. Baron Vincent is more interested in causing problems with the Camarilla and with Prince James. We live out here, outside the city, where we're more free to do as we want. Baron Vincent claimed part of Prince James's territory. He is trying to cause problems. But that's the way of the Bruja.
Or are you saying, as far as you're concerned, if something pops off between Prince James and Baron Vincent, we should, as far as you're concerned, take Prince James's side?
Well, it's going to be a little bit more specific on what the problem is, but don't owe loyalty to Baron Vincent just because he carries the title of Anarch Baron. You owe him 1/3 of your loyalty, the same as you owe to me or to Prince James, as official by your coterie. This is really things you should be talking with James about. I'm much less the politically minded of the three of us.
Not that personal.
Okay.
Your headphones charged.
Thank you, Baroness.
But keep in mind, just because you're an anarch and you don't appreciate the Camarilla doesn't mean that the Camarilla isn't a part of your coterie. So, if you feel slighted, work on it.
Oh, no,
Be
it's not
cautious.
personally.
Okay.
Not a personal slight. It's I'm worried. You know, this is starting to feel like random people who are not in my chain of command, so to speak, are starting to exercise their power unfairly over it.
That is part of the way the Camarilla works.
Well, I don't take very
Prince
well
James
to hearing.
isn't at the top. He's at the top in this city, but as far as the Camarilla goes, there are others he has to take orders from.
Yeah,
Others
it's not
he's
really
bound
with
to.
him that I have a problem. Although, if he were to, and by the way, so let me ask this out of character too. Out of the people that have been executed, we said there were a couple kindred executed recently for using technology.
Yep.
Were any of them anarchs?
Yeah. Let's say one of them was Baron Vincent's guy, and one of them was Princess James' guy.
Okay. So what I'll say to Valentina is, like, it does also kind of bother me. Like, the one thing that bothers me is that a Camarilla leader is able to order the execution of a non-Camarilla kindred who is not technically, who has never accepted his rule as his prince. So that bothers me. You know, but most of what doesn't
was executed?
One of Baron Vincent's guys was executed at Prince James's order.
Are you sure it wasn't at Baron Vincent's order?
No, I'm not. I'm just what I've heard. But
It
I
is
get what
Prince
you're saying.
James's city. He is still trying to keep control of his city and protect his kindred. Whether or not he has any control in the area that Baron Vincent has stolen from him, I can't say what level of control he's still managing.
But it's not really him. I have my concerns. My biggest concerns about it is these random outside Camarilla that are coming in from out of the city.
Who is it? Goldman?
No. People from outside of the city, higher ranking in the Camarilla.
The Archon? I've heard that there's an Archon in town.
The Archon is one of them. And the other one is this lady that, sent her man, Michael Knight, to come in and force himself to be around Craig at all times. Which effectively makes him a spy for the rest of our coterie, because Craig, everywhere Craig goes, he comes. And he's always there to hear things.
Well, I don't know anything about that. Talk with Prince James about it. I'm not big on the politics.
But,
okay.
But he's Camarilla, so he doesn't mind. And where my concern lies. And now it's not just Prince James we're listening to through our agreement. It's all of his. Like, I almost feel like I'm in the chain of command now of Camarilla.
Well, your coterie is. But your coterie is also supposed to act outside of the politics.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. The Watchman group is city-based, so why should we listen to somebody who's a national Camarilla member? Who's not from the city?
Are you sure their interest isn't in your party as a Watchman coterie?
Maybe, but that's why I don't appreciate random Camarilla spies who come from outside of El Paso coming in and looking at us.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how I would handle that if that had happened to me. Probably not very well.
I mean, we're in this position now to demand that it stops. But I obviously don't want to do this on my own.
Well, your coterie serves the Camarilla, as well as the Anarchs. Your cotery's mission is to protect the kindred of the city, or of the area, since I'm not in the city. Not to become involved in the politics. But that doesn't mean that your Camarilla overlords doesn't want to know what's going on. Of course they do. They have to know, and they have to know everything that's going on, have their hands in every pie. It's kind of their thing. Keep what secrets you can from him. What secrets you find important.
Okay.
Investigate him. Make sure he's not some Sabbat spy, if that's what you think.
No, I just think that it's, we're at the mercy of the Camarilla, and I didn't think that's what Anarchs signed up to do, but...
Well, you're not in an Anarch coterie. You're not supposed to be playing the politics of the sides. It doesn't mean the sides aren't going to politic you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in a very difficult type of situation. Let's hope Prince James can hold his ground, because with the rise of the Inquisition again, if Prince James loses control of the city, your coterie may fall apart. Your support from different factions may fall through.
Okay, thank you, Baroness.
And she continues walking.
I'm gonna head back over.
Okay. Speedy's chilling with you guys now. Professional Speedy has turned back into normal Speedy. They look the same. He always has a resting angry face. I'm going to go to the bathroom. You guys can talk for a minute.
Start a timer. Somebody start a timer. 1 minute. Sing the Jeopardy song.
Careful, we can get copyright claimed.
Oh my gosh. So what do you guys think he went over to talk to her about?
I don't know.
Something he doesn't want to say in front of the rest of us? I mean, that's fine, but I'm just wondering.
My guess is he's just helping Valentina out with a personal issue.
Or he just doesn't want your babysitter to hear something.
That's a very good.
In fact, your babysitter's picture should be here also. It's much smaller than all of these people. I forgot about it. He is not sitting at the table with you guys. Like, he's not a part of the group. He's standing over to the side. And mostly not watching you guys, watching out, like checking for ambushes or attacks and stuff. Pretty close, he's doing the exact same thing as Speedy. During the meeting, anyway. Anything else that needs said before we jump forward? Nope,
can't
we're good.
think of anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good.
The real recap. The Flames of Inquisition. It started as just rumor, but the travelers kept coming and they kept sharing the same story. LA was lost. The Second Inquisition struck down the kindred of Los Angeles in a single night, They launched a multi-pronged attack on Prince Vannevar Thomas, every member of the Primogen Council, as well as all 4 Anarch barons. The Prince, Seneschal, Primogen, and Sheriff are all missing and unaccounted for. Dozens of kindred were staked and captured, and many more were outright destroyed. The Camarilla had abandoned the city, but the Anarchs are standing their ground, ready to fight for the Anarch Free State. The stories talk about advanced weaponry, like a drone with a headlight so bright that it burned, helmets that block domination and presence powers, a machine that inhibits blood sorcery, and a red mist that kills kindred but leaves all mortals unharmed. The stories they told were terrifying, and it was easy to see which travelers saw it with their own eyes and which were just passing the stories along. That was September. Now it's the 15th of January, and kindred life in El Paso has changed drastically. The Second Inquisition has taken the Anarch Emily Costas. Perhaps they have her imprisoned somewhere. Perhaps she was destroyed. Adriana Estrada led the spines of the cactus back to the site she had escaped, and already they were packing it up, moving to a new secured location. The cactus brought the information to Prince James, and immediately the kindred world entered lockdown. It's been weeks since that night, and there has been no news about Emily. Spider, the newly crowned tech master of El Paso, is supposedly looking for any sign of her, but he has to be careful. Emily was careful. He has to be something more. But despite all hope to find her, the likelihood is that she's gone. Still, he keeps searching. And not just Spider. Everyone's eyes are open. Everyone is cautious and alert, looking for any sign of an attack or where to attack. Okay, now I have a few scenes that I'm going to run you through. Some are individuals and some are more, small groups of you. So we're going to start here. Mila is meeting with Mahira and Iskander in a cemetery tonight.
Oh.
So, Mila and Mahira are here first, despite the picture. And you guys have a few minutes to discuss if you want to talk about anything before Iskander comes. How are things in your coterie?
Okay, so out of character. At this point, does she know anything that's going on, or that's what this meeting is for?
This is a meeting between the Banu Hakim to pretty much find out what's going on in the situation, and I guess Iskander called it, so maybe he has something to say.
But as of right now, she knows nothing?
Mahira?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows that that everything's gone in lockdown and stay off of technology. Don't do anything to draw any attention whatsoever. A great many of the Toreador and Ventru have abandoned their businesses.
Okay.
Anything that was suspicious, the things that they are the most confident in, maybe they're staying with. Or anything that's brand new, maybe they're staying with. But it's kind of on an individual level for everybody.
Okay.
None of you guys own a business or even play that much technology.
Okay. It's been 3 weeks, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that it's as good as to be expected. We're all trying to lay low and, kind of take care of ourselves in the sense of doing what we feel is safest for each of us.
Still no news on your friend?
No, I was just about to say, we haven't heard anything, so I know that's, obviously like a big I think, me personally, I almost feel like I'm failing because I can't help her, or I haven't been able to help her, and I'm sure I'm not the only one carrying that weight.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I mean, we don't know what to do,
Yeah.
and we've never been,
She
in that
may
situation.
even be gone already.
I
Mhm.
need to prepare for you at some point.
Mhm. Right. So, just
How
dealing
about
with
your
that.
own private investigations? Have you found anything on the Infernals? Any sign of Lucan?
No, unless outside of character I have. But as far as Lynn knows, no.
Nope.
Okay. No. No.
Yeah, me neither. I
haven't.
don't think the Infernals. I don't think any of his people are here. And if they are, they're
No.
doing a better job of hiding than our kindred have been.
Yeah. They might be trying to avoid the mess. I don't know.
They might be.
But yeah, I haven't come across anything at all. I'm just remembering Lynn's just remembering about the what happened? Hold on, I got my note. Remember with the flake? Hold up. Because I remember that happened, and then all this stuff with Emily kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where Carlos's mother got killed.
Yep, Carlos's mother got killed.
And we never, really investigated that.
Nope. And there are also new bodies being found in dumpsters.
Okay.
But that's not infernal, although it is related.
No, I know. I
but-
was just trying to think, what else is kind of happening.
Mhm.
And that, clicked in my head about that. And we never really, I had not investigated that. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
You could have investigated that if you want. Let's see. I forgot about it.
I did too till right now. And I was like, wait, something happened
let's
that
see.
wasn't Emily.
We'll say that you've been investigating it, but you haven't found anything.
Okay.
Carlos is also investigating as much as he can, but he doesn't seem to have found anything either.
Okay.
Do you
And
reveal yourself to him at all?
No.
Okay.
But I do keep a close eye. I probably, since that happened, I probably check on him, as absolute. If I could check on him nightly, I would.
Okay.
I don't know if or every other night or something.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time at a cathedral.
Okay.
He doesn't. Now that you're getting to know him a little bit, he isn't a priest. He isn't studying to become a priest, but he lives at the cathedral.
He literally lives there, or he just spends a lot of time
No,
there?
he literally lives there.
Huh. Okay. And I'm not noticing change in behavior or anything as far as him being evil.
No.
Or anything, like that. Okay.
In fact, you find, I don't know if you want to go in the church or not, but he spends a lot of time in prayer.
Okay.
That's just the kind of person that he grew up to be. In fact, his magic is all angels.
Good.
Yeah.
The opposite of what he was heading towards. Okay.
His magic is sending angels to accomplish things. So.
And I'm aware of that?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
You know that he's got a thing for angels. You'll know that.
But can I tell that he can communicate with them and stuff?
Depends on how closely you follow him.
Because I'm almost thinking that could be helpful. I don't know.
If you follow him closely enough, then if you ever see him do any magic at all whatsoever, the process of his magic is is something like, "Dear God, please send an angel to help me with this," and then it happens.
And like we're on a
Okay.
Like they're banging
That's
drums.
the
so I mean,
process
like,
of his magic, and every magic he ever does is through prayer.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna note that. Okay, but anyway, so with me here, then no. No, nothing. I mean, it's been pretty nothingness.
How's your sorcery coming along?
Good. I learned a few things. I like to. I have touchstone or not touchstones. What are they called? Oh my god.
Bloodstones? Something like
Bloodstones.
that?
Thank you. I have bloodstones with me all the time. Because they come in handy. Okay. Oh, my poison knife. Just in case. Things like that, But other than that.
Soon you'll be better at sorcery than I am.
I enjoy it.
How's your weapons training?
I haven't done a lot of that. Other than learning how to shoot a gun.
Don't tell that to Iskander. He hates those things. And you guys hear some rustling. And Iskander is joining you. So I don't have much of a description of him, but he is cleaned up. His natural state, because you spent a couple of years with him, his natural state is much more hairy. Is much more wild and a lot thicker beard. So he cleaned himself up tonight. He has to clean himself up any night that he wants to not look like that, which is most of the time that while you guys are living in the city.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, he starts walking over towards you. Ah, there's my girls. Do we have any information on Lucan? Or his servants?
No, I don't. I wasn't able to get any information.
Mahira also tells him, I was hoping maybe one of you had encountered something. I've also found nothing. I would say that he's not here, that him and his servants are not here, but they have centuries of experience in hiding. It's hard to rule out. But that's not what brings me here to you tonight. We have something we need to decide as a clan, and I didn't want to make these decisions on my own. Archon Delaney is throwing her support behind the Ventru, behind Prince Goldman. After the blunder of Prince James that has brought us to the point that we are now. The clans are going to war. I can smell it in the air. The Ventru, the Toreador, the Bruja will throw themselves into the mix. We have options. We can support Prince James. He has been good to us. He's helped us in our hunt for Lucan, to no avail, but he has assisted. We can support Prince Goldman. is probably a better choice for the future of the city, in all honesty. We can position ourselves for power. I don't think anyone would accept me as prince, but we can prove ourselves to the clans, and when the dust settles, perhaps one of us, me most likely, could be named sheriff. I could prove myself to the clans and show them how capable of a sheriff I could be. And this power might give us some extra influence in finding Lucan. Or, of course, we could go back on the road and abandon the city. Just leave it. Leave it for the wolves. What do you think? Mahira looks to the main character of the party.
To the main character.
Yeah, to you.
I
She's not a main character.
I would lean more towards supporting Prince James personally. Because I also feel that. I mean, I feel like that's the right thing just because of how he's been and
You
for
think
us.
we should support James out of loyalty?
Yes. And also, keeping in mind what you were saying about putting ourselves in power, putting our support behind Prince James could have that.
It could. It could.
Yeah. Would have that. Oh, I can't talk. Have that.
Do we take a step forward and tell Prince James to use us as soldiers in his war with the Ventru? I don't think that will happen for Mila, Mahira says. Mila's part of a coterie that's meant to be outside of the politics.
Mm-hmm.
All this is true. But staying outside of the politics may be impossible.
I was gonna say, but at the same time, the coterie works for Prince James. For the, So.
Would your coterie switch to working for Prince Goldman?
I highly doubt that.
Then I suppose we want to support Prince James. Like you said, loyalty.
Yeah.
We haven't been here long enough or seen much loyalty from him to really deserve that full level. But it is time for the Banu Hakim to prove themselves useful to the Camarilla. If we are to take the responsibility that they lost from the Gangrel and the Bruja, then soldiers we will be. Do you see yourself ready to assassinate Ventru targets? Because that's what you'll be looking at.
If that's what's good for the city, I guess. If it's what's right, then yes.
War is not what's good for the city, especially with the Inquisition rising to the levels it has. War between the clans will bring us down. So if it's going to happen, we should do what we can to make sure it happens quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, war between the clans may give Lucan an opening to recruit new infernals to his power. And we can't allow that to happen either. He is out there somewhere. I can feel it. I can smell it. If he's not here in this city himself, one of his followers is. So we can't let ourselves become completely distracted by their war. We have a purpose. Beyond politicking for what Cainite is more powerful than any other. This kind of nonsense is beneath us. What do you think, Mahira? Do we stay with Prince James? Yeah, like you guys said, he's been good to us. I would say it's better to work for the evil you know than the evil you don't, but Prince James isn't even that. He's honestly a good person. He wants what's best for everybody. He's not in it for his own power.
Right.
Which makes him a weaker prince than Goldman would be.
Weaker, but not necessarily wrong.
Right. He is allowing the Anarchs to move in and out of his city. He gave up a section of his city just to appease them. What's to say that once war starts between Prince James and Prince Goldman, that Vincent does not throw his hat into the ring as well? That he doesn't draw his sword and try to take the whole thing. Make El Paso another free anarch state.
I definitely can see that happening. I mean, not necessarily that he'd win, but I'm just saying that he would attempt it, for sure. I believe.
I believe so as well. Hopefully, our presence will detour them. Perhaps I will visit with Prince James tonight. See if there's a Bruja target that might dissuade them. Okay, well, the decision has been made then. We will support Prince James, at least until it is obvious that Prince Goldman is the victor. But like I said, keep alert and stay vigilant. Lucan and his servants are here somewhere.
Okay.
Anything else you need to say to them?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's move on to the next scene. We are beneath the abandoned school. Jessica has just woken with your sister Melissa and your new brother, Dr. Walter Triton. Aaron Hopkins is still sleeping. This is where you've been staying for the last few weeks. Jessica? Maybe we'll move on from Jessica. Are they still traveling?
It says they're. Oh,
Okay, yeah. We'll leave them behind. Maybe she'll stop by. Okay. Dun-dun. Then next we will do... Inside Jack's house.
Woo!
Craig wakes up first.
I
And
kind of like pause. Oh, go ahead.
Make your way into the living room, and you have Jennifer, Jack's wife, is lounging on the sofa, and Michael Bright is leaning up against a counter, a breakfast bar, and he has an assortment of firearms that he is cleaning.
Just want to note that my house definitely doesn't look that nice.
Okay. Well,
Mm.
she has nothing to do. So, it might be this clean. It just might not be this nice.
Yeah. Fair.
Good morning, everybody. Craig knows that it's not morning, but he just gave up trying to switch everything around.
Good morning, Craig. Jennifer says, "Can I get you anything?"
Craig pauses because, like, he can think of a lot of things he misses to eat. He misses eating, but
Yeah, she
He shakes
offers
his
you
head.
that every single day, but you can't eat or drink anymore.
yeah, that's why he thinks about it. He's like, maybe I'll try it, maybe I won't. No, I better not. No, but thank you for the offer. Jack still asleep?
Yep, Jack's still asleep. You always wake up before him. By about 30 minutes or so, usually.
It's the blessing of youth, I guess, like kids in cartoons on Saturday mornings.
It's the blessing of a higher humanity.
Or that too.
So, Michael Bright looks up, nods at you.
Morning. I nod back.
How'd you sleep?
And then Craig kind of thinks about it. He's like, I've never had a sleep that was different. Is that normal? Do vampires ever dream? Do their sleep
I
ever
have
get
no
different?
idea. I've never heard about vampires dreaming other than the kooky ones, like your lady friend.
The Trump supporter?
The
And Craig pauses. Oh wait, no, that was a while ago.
the Malkavian.
Oh, I see.
So I do have something for you.
Oh.
And he reaches inside his duffel bag and he pulls out a padded manila envelope. And he hands it over to you. It's about 6 inches or so. Just a little padded envelope. It's sealed. It doesn't have any writing on it. It didn't go through the mail.
I'll take it. This is from my benefactor then.
Yes.
Craig shrugs and he rips it. He pulls it open and goes inside to.
Inside is a little black box with a phone cord sticking out of it.
Huh.
And
looks familiar.
there's a note that has 9:08 p.m. written on it. Handwritten on it. What is
What
it?
time is it now?
It's about 8:06.
8:06. Okay.
8:07. What is it? Michael says, looking over at you.
It's one of the phone devices. It has a time on it, and like the black box that you handed me, kind of. I think. I don't know how this thing works.
Oh, I want to plug it into a landline phone.
Huh.
Miss Jennifer, do you guys have a landline phone? I imagine you do. So she has, yeah, and she goes and finds the phone and disconnects it and brings it. Jack wakes up.
Never gets better. I go to the bathroom and I do sort of the routine that I always do of
Clean yourself up.
shaving, even though there's nothing to shave.
Oh.
Sort of keep me grounded,
Mm-hmm.
connected to my old routine that I used to have. And then, we've been basically locked down for a bit, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know what you guys have been up to.
Yeah.
You don't have to have been hiding in here. In fact, your coterie is responsible for the protection of the kindred of the city, so.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So yeah, I'll put on like my normal wear and then head out into the living room and then good evening, honey. Then I'll go up to my wife, give her a kiss, and then
Hey there, Jack.
and then there's
Mr.
Cregan.
Bright says he's cleaning a bunch of firearms from revolvers to his sniper rifle.
See, you're up to your favorite activity, routine maintenance.
Second favorite.
Yeah.
I do need to shower, if you guys don't mind. I wanted to wait
Of course
until
not.
you were awake.
No, feel free. Perfectly fine.
Yep.
Where's
He
Krieg?
separates him. Krieg is in here somewhere.
Okay.
He's in here. Krieg.
Yes.
There.
Hey, Jack.
I'm gonna go take a
Good
shower.
evening.
I'll be right back. Be careful.
Trust me, he'll be fine.
And Bright excuses himself.
Right. I'm trying to think of what we would have been doing.
You see
Anything.
You see your landline phone just sitting on the table, disconnected.
Connected?
Disconnected. It's disconnected from the wall and just sitting there on the table.
Is there a reason why my phone is just out?
Well, I put it there.
You didn't put it there. Jennifer put it there.
Oh, that's right. Jennifer put it there for me.
Yeah.
I didn't know you guys still had phones like this.
Well, it's not plugged in, so it's not going to work.
I mean, I'm hopeful we'll get it to work. It needs to work, I think, at 9:06.
Well, you're going to have to connect it to get it to work. Great. I mean, you're younger than me. You should. Well, actually, I was about to say that, but I know that you guys, don't keep up with the old technology, so that's not surprising. Actually, it's not a remote phone.
Oh, I know. Greg just nods.
Wait a minute, but what do you need to make a call for?
Oh, well, you remember how Bright's employer, she called me with like a magic box?
Yeah.
I got another magic box. And he kind of like holds it up and wiggles it.
This is much smaller. The first one was in a briefcase.
Yeah, it's
connected to a
pretty
phone
cool.
and everything. So
Can I see that? I'm gonna start walking up like.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yes.
Just don't drop it, because I'm afraid of her.
All right, can I like
it's a little
examine this
plastic
device?
black box with a phone cord coming out of it. It's about 2 inches square.
Is there any way to open the box? Like a place that looks like it could
As
open?
you're looking it over, there are no screws. In fact, it has a couple of carved little runes on it.
Do I have any idea what those runes are?
Make me an intelligence occult roll.
Okay. Nothing in a cold, but I do have good intelligence. Bestial 2, success?
No. No. You don't recognize them.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Has Michael ever explained how this thing is supposed to work?
I'm not sure if he.
You
No,
hear the shower
Probably
water
doesn't.
start running.
I
Hmm.
don't think so.
Well, I'm imagining that it somehow uses something to make the communication secure. Like otherwise, it'd be no different than using a normal phone. So, be interested if you knew what it was. I'm a little suspicious of the device, but I also feel like it probably somehow evades any detection that we can worry about. But
Craig nods because he's not good with technology either.
yeah,
So he's just like,
I'm
"Yep."
not gonna lie though. This makes me worried that this is somehow violating the technology, endangering us somehow. But I'm also confident that someone of her level would probably easily have stuff available to her that can dissuade those worries. Well,
What do you know about her? Jennifer asked Craig.
Craig kind of pauses and thinks back to the first time he heard her voice. She didn't say much, but she does not sound like somebody who would like to be argued with. That's the main gist I got is she's in charge and she knows it.
Okay.
She likes to be called ma'am, or I'm only allowed to call her ma'am.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. But I suggest you call her ma'am.
Yes.
Are you going to call her or is she going to call you?
I'm assuming she wants me to be right here by the phone at 9:06 and just to be ready. 'Cause I don't know how I would call. There's no number. There's no number, right?
No.
Okay.
Have you already plugged it in the phone?
Yeah.
Okay. You pick up the phone? There's no dial tone or anything. It's like it is disconnected.
do we have to take that call here? Well, it's not like there's just random landlines available that can be connected to, unfortunately.
It
I
is
can go
not
into
connected to
public-
the landline right now. It is not.
Does it have to?
No, there's only a wire coming out of it to go into the phone. There's no port to connect the landline to the black box.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm like, all right, super cool. Can I plug my phone landline back in?
You can plug your landline back into the phone. You'll have to disconnect the little black box.
Wait, but I thought the black box wasn't connected to.
The black
you
box is
plug-
connected to the phone.
Okay, okay. I was not tracking. Now I understand. We
Yeah.
took our home phone and plugged our home phone into the box.
Yes.
I'm
My bad. Yes.
following now.
Yeah. The cord that comes out of the wall is disconnected, and then this black box was plugged into that little hole.
Okay,
In the
cool. No more questions about the box
Okay.
and this technology.
But there's no dial tone. It's dead, like as if, you had disconnected it from the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
How big is Jack's phone? Like, is it just like a sleek little something that you can put in baggy clothes?
Well, I mean, the home phone is usually a lot bigger than your cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the home phone's like,
Maybe like
8 inches tall.
the big baggy, like bathrobe pajama pockets or something. Maybe you could hide it in.
Oh, okay. Well, Jack, I mean, if you're uncomfortable, I can always take this to a nearby gas station stall at 906 and talk to her there.
I'm not too worried about it. I don't think there's any reason to be worried. Whatever this is, I think it's beyond tracking. Or at least I hope it is.
Well, we'll
The shower
find out.
water turns off. He's real quick. Everything he does is efficient.
I'm gonna examine just real quick. What are all the firearms that Michael has out on my counter that he's working on?
I don't know.
Like a number.
He's got like 3 different pistols of varying sizes.
Okay.
He's got a shotgun. He's got a sports rifle. He's got a military grade assault rifle, and he's got a folding sniper rifle that goes into a briefcase.
Okay, so he is loaded like a traditional video game character in an FPS
Yeah.
Doom
equipment.
guy.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go into my room, get out my handgun, and I'm gonna get my kit and I'm gonna start cleaning it on the counter
Okay.
with everything else.
Yeah, Michael Bright comes back out.
Michael, do you understand how this box works?
What box? Oh, the phone? Yeah,
Yeah.
you plug it in the phone. And then at the time that she said, the phone will ring and you answer it. Well,
No, but I
Craig.
mean beyond that. Do you know how what is inside the box? Like deeper beyond that?
Yeah, when the call's over, then the box will destroy itself. Whatever technology or magic or whatever it is inside is just going to burn out. There'll be a little bit of smoke come out of it, and then if you want to take it apart, go for it. If there's no screws or anything, usually you have to take it apart with the saw.
Okay.
How? Rick raises a hand. This isn't going to be like hot enough or destroy itself enough to actually cause like a fire or
No,
or like.
it's all internal.
Oh, good.
I'm just gonna go to the garage real quick. I walk off, and then after about 30 seconds or a minute or two, I come back with a hammer and like a wood saw and like a crowbar. Just for after.
Yeah, I've seen this happen before. Maybe you could make some heads or tails out of it.
I'm just impressed. I'm just glad that I know what a phone jack looks like. They're so. I feel accomplished.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess time passes, and you wait for the phone to ring. And the phone rings at the exact time that it said it would ring.
Okay, Craig picks it up on the first ring.
Jennifer gets kind of excited. Ooh, it did it. Can you pick up the phone?
Yes.
Okay. Let me try and get her voice a little bit. Craig, my boy. How are you liking El Paso? Your whole new life there.
I'm enjoying it, ma'am.
That's good, but I'm sorry I have some bad news. I think things are about to change. Is Mr. Levington there with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to put the black box on speakerphone. And then
Craig was nodding, but then he's like, "Oh wait, no. Yes, ma'am."
Jack, my boy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Good, good. What I have to say is important for you to hear as well. Please relay this information to your coterie. So, ever since the gangrel left the Camarilla, your prince has been allowed to experiment. He's been sharing his city with the Anarchs. And now that the Anarchs have lost Emily and put everyone in the city at risk, that experiment has deemed to be over. Archon Delaney has decided to back Prince Goldman of Las Cruces and give him praxis to take over El Paso. This leaves your coterie in quite the conundrum. The clans are going to go to war. It's not going to be a physical war, mind you, but make no mistake, it will be a war. I know of at least 3 different parties who are going to attempt to take control. And that's not counting either of your Anarch Barons who may try the same thing.
Listen,
You guys have any input you would like to add to my knowledge of the situation?
first, if I may, are you going to reveal the parties that you believe will also attempt to take power from Prince James?
Prince Goldman of Las Cruces and Primogen the Rat King of the Nosferatu. And then I expect Baron Vincent will struggle for the position himself. And I'm not too sure about Baron Valentina. She was quite good friends with Prince James. She may even choose to take his side.
You said that there were 3 parties, excluding Baron Vincent and Baron Valentina.
The Rat
You
King,
mentioned.
Prince James, and Prince Goldman.
Oh, I understand. Okay. Uh, just out of character for a second. Am I talking to someone representing Savona, or are we talking to Savona?
Don't know. You've never talked to her before.
That's a good point.
It is an old lady's voice.
Old lady's voice. Who does Savona back Prince Goldman?
Ask her.
No, I'm asking.
Don't know.
Who has the backing of Savona? If I may.
Are you asking in character?
Yes.
Who are you asking?
The voice?
Okay. Who do you support?
Yes.
At this point, I'm really not sure. I just want to make sure that all of the possibilities are lined up so that the victor is the one who will be the most successful. I can't tell you who that's going to be just yet.
If do not misinterpret what I'm going to say. I believe it is premature and unwise to deem the arrangement that Prince James was able to broker with the Anarchs as a failure based on a singular case. In fact, the matter of Emily's taking, I believe, is much more related to her own individual behavior and could have happened among someone among the Anarchs or among Camarilla.
That's the way I see it as well. However, Archon Delaney, for one reason or another, has chosen to take this as an opportunity to raise Prince Goldman. I wish I could say that this is my only bad news, but I can't. And since your coterie is supposed to be acting outside of the politics, which is probably going to be impossible at this point, I do want to tell you that I have reason to believe that Rodrigo de Segovia is still in your area, puppet mastering the Sabbat from behind the scenes. You must be cautious, as that one does not release his grudges.
You say still in our area. Do you mean specifically within El Paso or merely in the surrounding area, possibly could be across the border?
He has mostly acted from across the border. It is believed by the Sabbat that he has left for the Gehenna War in the Middle East, and I'm saying I believe he is still present and still manipulating the Sabbat either from Juarez or from El Paso.
I understand.
He is in hiding and acting as a puppet master. Or someone is in his name. I suppose that could be quite possible. Craig, my boy, how are you getting along with Michael?
He's a good man. I trust him.
You guys are starting to bond.
Craig kind of like pauses.
Not yet.
I think we get along well. I'm not one to trust people immediately. I mean, I trust him, but being shot at and thinking somebody's going to cover you and opening up about what exactly you're feeling are two different things to me.
I think you're going to get along very well with Michael Bright.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that.
Well, I have to be going. I'll contact you the next time I have anything that I need to share.
Thank you, ma'am.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
You can hear sparks going off inside the little black box.
I'm gonna let that cook off before I open it up. That
The
being
fire
said,
alarm's not going to go off?
No. There's not even any smoke coming out of it. Not yet.
All right.
That being said, I turned to Krieg.
You just hear like little sparks going off inside of it. It's burning whatever technology and or magic was inside of it, making the call possible.
Okay. I'll turn to Krieg. Let me ask you this, Krieg. See how much what you think of and what your views are of the coterie. Based on what you've just heard, what do you think our course of action will be? What do you think that we in the coterie will decide?
I think that right now, since Craig kind of like pauses, I don't like groups. I don't like ins, I don't like outs, I don't like he's, I don't like theys and theirs, and this is their land and this is our land. And I think that Prince James does a very good job of saying, you know what, don't be stupid and just kind of like live and let live. And I think that our coterie needs to protect that because of the idea that we're supposed to help out this society. And then Kirk kind of like shrugs. Did it burn your phone? Like the jack that was attached from the phone to the thing? Because he's kind of like looking at it because the question, it fried him a little. So he's just like, how about that phone?
I look at the phone. Is it good?
It seems to be. You go plug it
All right,
into the landline and you have your.
I'm gonna unplug it, plug it to the old landline, then see if it's working.
Yep, you got your dial tone.
Oh, good. And Craig kind of like pauses.
Thank God, I was not about to have to go to get. I don't even know how I would get a new one.
They still sell those.
Like I actually don't know how I would get a new. Jennifer, do you know how we would get a new landline phone if this thing get broken?
They still sell those at the store.
Do they though?
Well, on
Guess
Amazon.
you'd know better
We
than
could
me.
get one on Amazon.
I don't want to use Amazon. That is a
Is it broken?
sketch website. No, it's good. It's good, honey. I'm wasting time. Sorry.
And Jennifer
Best Buy sells
looks.
everything,
Jennifer
but
looks
they're-
at Craig and says, "Well, she did sound very impressive."
There's no room to argue, I would think. I wouldn't argue.
I'm just glad that she hasn't picked a side. Though of course someone else has.
Who's Rodrigo, and what did you do to piss him off? That he holds a grudge on you.
We killed some of their people when they attacked us.
Oh.
They're actually one of the only people that I've ever taken their lives. It was at the beginning when we knew nothing. And they attacked us. In a panic, we defended ourselves. I believe we killed 3 of them. We didn't know what to do. It was, frankly, completely justified. But they hold grudges. Somehow we're in the wrong for killing the people who were attempting to murder us.
Well,
but
yeah.
That's just how this world works, unfortunately.
That is how the world works, Michael Bright says.
Greg raised the hand. Am I guilty by association?
Kindred are petty, so yes.
Okay, I just wanted to know that.
That's a pretty good rule to go by, but I'd still say it kind of depends on who this Rodrigo is. But yeah, you should probably
petty.
assume that he hates you too. Yeah.
He attempted to organize a trial so that we would all be killed. It was a complicated situation.
Oh.
And actually, in that situation, it was the Rat King who attempted to take us into custody when we ran. I'm absolutely not backing the Rat King, and I'm very disappointed in him that he would try to take this opportunity if her theories prove true and depose of Prince James. You think loyalty would run deeper? Goldman is to be expected, but I would be especially surprised if Valentina did not side with the prince, or at least take neutrality.
She is an anarch. They might be friends, but she is an anarch. They're on different sides of the same coin. If she were to actually side with him, it would be, like declaring war on the other Baron, Vince, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Vincent. So, hence why she may declare neutrality instead. Yeah,
she
not
may.
Actively engaging.
She may, or she may end up going to war with her friend over, politics.
I hope that she won't. That being said, Krieg, you're right. I think I can generally speak for the others that we will stand with James. I may be wrong, but it's the right thing to do. He's the closest thing we have to a just ruler in an unjust world. So,
Greg looked at Michael Bright. So, with the madam, how often is she wrong about stuff like this? I mean, we might be getting nervous, and she has a bad track record.
I'd say never.
Oh, never mind. There goes that hope. Jack, go ahead.
No, everything that she said, I would assume is happening.
Out of character, do I have a means of, so courier services, do I have to have, a specific person who'd be my courier and I'd have to, ghoul them?
No.
No?
No, you can use humans.
Okay.
It depends on on you. It depends on, what you're sending, how important it is. So, yeah, you could just...
I'm basically wanting to relay what's happened to James, and of course I also want to relay it to the coterie, but I want to get that information to James first so that he knows what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So
you don't even know where to find James right now.
Yeah. To be
honest. He's not, at least according to the last meeting you had with him a few weeks ago, he was not staying at the hotel.
Yeah. You may just have to... Yeah, so we're going to need to relay this to the coterie. So I'd like to send messages to the others.
Okay. What do you send?
Like the contents of a message.
Yeah.
Is
Is it just a summary of what happened here? Or is there
generally
anything you're going to
speaking,
leave
yes.
out or anything you're going to add?
I don't think I'm gonna leave anything out.
Okay.
I think I want to relay basically everything that she said. By the way, what does praxis mean? Is it basically like?
Okay, that is when someone is declaring that they're going to be prince, and basically they are prince unless somebody stops them from becoming prince.
So basically, this Archon declaring Goldman prince over El Paso as like basically like now the higher authority
Right
is
now,
recognizing him
yeah,
as the prince.
and now the kindred of El Paso will decide who they're going to support. And a lot of times it goes to war. A lot of times that war, especially between Toreador and Ventru, is kind of a banking kind of war. It's a banking and a manipulating of humans and bulldozing down buildings where you think people's havens are,
Damn.
as
Okay.
opposed to going out with guns and killing each other. That's kind of how the Bruja handle it.
Oh shit.
Toreador and Ventru do shit through humans and money.
We're just gonna see
business.
We're just gonna see our mortgage rate get like raised to 15%.
Yep.
Something like it's just gonna, or the interest rate, yeah, it's gonna go through the roof all of a sudden.
Okay,
oh god,
so
this
do
actually
you
may
mention
happen.
anything like Fiorenza Savona, or the word prince, or the word praxis, or anything like that in your text message?
Oh, I'm not wanting to send a text message. No,
Okay,
no.
you're calling people. Okay.
No. I'm not wanting to call people. I'm wanting to try to find a way to do like
Okay.
verbally communicate it,
Hey,
either
so yeah,
via courier.
you're calling them and being like, "Hey, we should meet up."
Yeah,
And then
that's
okay.
what I'm talking about.
All right, cool.
Exactly. I'm not sending a message. No.
Okay. Jessica, you still here?
Oh, also, I want to open up the box though.
Oh, yeah. So inside the box is like some wires that have been destroyed and some runes like on the inside of it, and they're all scratched up. So yeah, you're gonna have to be a cross between a wizard and a tech master to find out what the fuck this was.
I'm gonna hold on to this, and I'm gonna put it in my safe in my living room. Not my living room, my bedroom.
You think that maybe it'd be a good idea to show Baila that?
Can we not hear you?
Can you
Yeah, I
hear me
hear
now?
you. Yeah, I hear you. Cool.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta run to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll do your scene. I drank a bunch of
Jimmy,
soda,
what was your
so.
or Krieg, what was your question?
You think that maybe Mila would know? Like she does like blood sorcery, right? So maybe she would.
I think this is beyond her.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she knows the more practical end of that stuff, not the I guess we'd say technical side. I mean, I have no idea how magic works either, so or much technology. So this is horrible for me. But maybe this can be identified later. I definitely don't want to throw it away. Actually, I'll note this so Craig, you know. So the Bureau obviously is trying to find kindred. Obviously, we don't know what if like they're trying to find us or if there's attention on us. But if there were, hypothetically, there's a technique used in law enforcement called pulling trash, because you literally go into people's trash, and because you don't need a warrant to do that, and basically search their trash. And if they found that, it would stand out, and then it may basically clue them in that there's something weird going on, that they have some weird device that they can't figure out. So be aware of your trash, and if you ever are producing anything that is connected to Kindred to society, if you don't need to keep it, destroy it so that there is no trace. And in the most inconspicuous way as possible. And if you do need to keep it, then keep it in a secure place where if they did hypothetically break into your home or wherever you are without a warrant, that it would be more difficult to find. Because obviously, based on the circumstances, I'm sure they're not really abiding by the Constitution as much as they probably should be.
I see. So you don't think it'd be a better idea to just take pictures of that and then get rid of it? Because I mean, if they find it here, it could cause us problems too.
Well, I'm worried about pictures being on a device that can then be accessed.
Like those old Kodak.
I mean, the device itself is pretty much already destroyed.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I maybe, but that's a good idea to get a Polaroid camera. I've heard those are popular again for some reason. So,
and let's go to Janina's scene.
Take two.
Take two. Okay.
Yes.
Aaron Hopkins is still asleep. You wake up to find both Melissa and Dr. Walter are awake.
Hey,
Big
kiddos.
sister! And Melissa runs over and hugs you. She's a hugger. In fact, she seems to be obsessed with physical contact of everything, of all kinds. She always needs to be touching something.
Okay.
And
so what's up?
Walter just nods at you. He is just scrolling through a book. Are you going out tonight? You gonna go hang out with your friends? Can I come?
Yeah, probably.
I'll make a good watchman.
I bet you would. What are your abilities? I forget.
I can paint. I'm starting to learn some auspex, and I've gotten a little bit of sneaky going on. Yeah, some obfuscate.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm not as good as you are at the auspex yet, but
Oh, okay. Well, I'm kind of feeling like I'm redundant in my group sometimes, which is why I come hang out here with you so we can paint and stuff.
yeah, you want to paint something? What should we paint? She runs over to her paints and her her whole section, and she sets up an easel board and pulls out some paints. What should we paint? I miss bright colors and outside. Let's paint.
I know.
Let's paint a forest with like.
Let's paint a peacock.
Let's paint a forest with a peacock.
That's very colorful.
Yes. And she starts, and she's actually not that bad of a painter. She gets it all over herself, though. She doesn't seem to even notice or care.
Have your paintings ever told you anything before?
Yes. We are thinking that the painting is going to be a nice key to my auspex. But right now it's completely uncontrolled. Was it like that for you when you started? When you started to see the future with the premonition?
Yeah, I used to get just glimpses and stuff. But, and over time, literally, if you just, try thinking about something you want to know about.
I want to know about... Oh, I'm drawing a blank. What's
You don't want to know about anything?
What's something I would want to know about?
How about where the bad men are keeping Emily?
I don't even know Emily.
Oh.
But I guess I can
All
think
right,
about where the bad men might be keeping somebody.
my
What
friend?
does she look like? Is
You
she
never really
pretty?
met her. Yeah, she was kind of dark and gothy.
Dark and gothy. Okay.
Very, yeah.
Let's paint
But
her. She just rips the page off. Throws the board down and gets a new one and puts it up. Let's paint her. Here, you
okay.
paint. And she gives you the brush.
You know what? I'm gonna try to focus my ability to see if I can't figure out where Emily is. And I can't believe I haven't tried to do that yet.
Okay. Make me whatever your premonition roll is. I don't remember.
I'm gonna ask you to do the roll for me.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a rouse check. Resolve plus aspects. Whenever the storyteller deems it appropriate, this power gives the character a sudden hint. Let's see. Whether okay. Invite in red glow. Whether it gives the character a sudden vision of themselves walking in a trap or inviting red glow over the second right turn during a chase or the brief flash of a skeleton. This power always gives the storyteller license to subtly speed. Yeah. The user can actively provoke a premonition by focusing on a subject. Making her rouse. Okay. Rouse check and resolve plus aspects. So that's what we'll do. Let me find player character sheets. Takes me forever to load stuff. Core page. Resolve and aspects. Scroll. There we go. Resolve. Discipline. 0. Two. You get this pull to the north. And it only lasts for a couple of seconds and then it's gone. But you got to pull to the north. Maybe that means that she's alive. Well, I mean, vampire alive. Of course, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to mean that, but you did get a sense. You did get a pull to the north. Did you see it? What did you see? Your eyes went white. Do my eyes go white when I do that? Here, give me the brush. Let me paint something.
I felt pulled to the north.
Well, maybe we should go north. Give me a gun. I'll go with you. I'll shoot all the bad guys.
I can barely even use a gun. When have you used a gun?
Never. How hard is it?
Oh.
You point the shooting part at the bad guys, and then you pull the trigger. It can't be hard.
If somebody sets it up for you, yeah, but you have to know how to load it and have to know what kind of a gun you have, and
You can
if
load it.
you have to.
Just load it for me.
All right, we're kind of off subject here. We're trying to
Draw a
help
peacock.
my coterie.
Oh yeah, you're trying
Yes.
to help your coterie. Okay.
Yes. Well, you said you wanted to come with us and become a watchman.
Yes. Yes.
Well, how
Yes.
can we help the watchmen if we can? Well, one of the things we need to do now is help out Emily.
North.
You would love Emily. Yes, she's north. Off that way.
Okay. Maybe I
Trying to
can.
think what's all up north.
Maybe I can draw north. What's north?
That way. And I point off in the direction of north.
She draws a big arrow on, and then turns it until it faces that way. North. I'm not getting any readings.
No. Oh, when there's something you want, we can actually try to help you see if you can't get it to trigger.
Like
Me, in my case, all I got was a sense of direction this time. Once I actually
something I want, like a Milky Way bar. I miss chocolate. I'm gonna draw a chocolate.
Okay.
And then she gets out some paints and starts painting a Milky Way bar. Aaron's waking up, Walter says from his position at the table.
Okay, good.
You think if I close my eyes and focus really hard, I could turn this picture into a real candy bar that I can eat even though I'm a vampire now?
You can try.
She shuts her face and focuses and tries really hard. Is it doing anything? Of course, it's not doing anything.
No, I'm not sorry.
Aaron bursts into the room. Pack your bags, we're leaving. Get your things.
Where are we going?
Melissa, Walter, get your things. We're leaving. Jessica, you should come with us. You should come with. Fuck this city. Fuck your coterie. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Where?
Pack your things. I don't even know where. It doesn't matter. It's just not here. And he goes and he turns around and goes running into his room and starts shoving stuff into bags. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go right now.
Stop.
There's no waiting. We
Stop it.
gotta go right now.
Are they on their way?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We're not gonna give them the chance. We're just gonna go.
Aaron, what happened? What did you see?
What? Oh, war. There's war. The whole city's gonna burn. Everything's going to war. The Vincent and Prince and Goldman and the fucking Nosferatu are gonna come out of their holes, and everything's gonna fucking burn. We gotta get out of here. We gotta go. We gotta go. We'll find a new city and start over, maybe someplace where they actually don't hate us. Walter, damn it,
Aaron,
get your stuff. And
I gotta go.
Walter stands up from the table finally. Yeah, I guess. Melissa's packing her things like we're going on an adventure.
Maybe you'll find that magical Snickers bar that you can actually eat.
I hope so. You think so?
Maybe.
What are you doing, Jessica? You gonna come with us? You gonna stay here?
I gotta get back to my friends and let them know what Aaron saw.
Okay. I guess that's about the time that Jack calls you and says he wants to meet up, not hook up.
Yeah, I don't do the hookup with Jack. I respect him too much professionally.
Yeah, same. No infidelity.
Okay.
Well, no, it just that, and I'm a little protective over Jennifer, just a little bit.
Okay. So is that where you want to break the scene? You want to let Aaron evacuate them, or you want to talk him down, or how do you want to leave the scene?
I give little sis a method to contact me,
Okay.
and just tell her if something goes bad, she calls. She needs to figure out where she's at and call me and tell me where she's at, and I'll try to come get her.
Okay. She gives you half of her paints.
So what if we both paint every single morning when we wake up, and we'll think about each other, okay?
Okay. Yeah. The first one should be a candy bar, because maybe if we both do it and we concentrate really hard, then we could get some delicious chocolate that we can eat as vampires. If we both believe in it, it'll happen. I believe in it. You have to believe in it too, Jessica. You have to believe in it
Okay.
too. Okay. And she's giving you the
Not that
paints.
I'm going to tell her that I can't eat a candy bar, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, and she's giving you the paints. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So they leave town. You don't know where they're going. They don't even know. Aaron doesn't even know where they're going. He just doesn't want to be here anymore. And he woke up in a panic, and today's personality is panic mode. So who knows? Tomorrow maybe he'll calm down and come back if they didn't get too far.
Yeah, I just hope they find a safe place to go before the sun comes up again.
Right. I mean, he's like 50 years old, so he knows what he's doing, and he's been living with his occasional panic days. Plus, I mean, it's not like he doesn't have anything to panic about. So, okay, so Jack called and set up a contact with everybody. So the next scene, let me put us to the title page. The next scene I was going to do with Hector and Adriana, which I guess we don't need to do Adriana because she didn't come, so we don't need the NPC to be around if she's not going to guest roll it. So the next scene then was going to be just Hector. Hector got called by Speedy that Valentina wanted to meet him. And then right after that, you get called by Jack, who's trying to put together the party so that you guys can talk. So it's up to you if you want to invite everybody to go meet with Valentina, or if you want to, call Speedy and see if Speedy wants, if it was something for just you, or if it's something for everybody, whatever you want.
This is after my last meeting with my
This
staying
is
behind and
like
talking
3
about
weeks
Tina.
later. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's what I would do. I would call Speedy and go, "Hey, so our friend wants to get together. A mutual friend here wants to get together. So is this with me and my friends, or is this just for me?
Oh no, it's
What's
great.
the
Bring
deal?"
them all. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Bring their whole coterie. That's fine.
Okay.
You can practically hear his smile, through his resting angry face. You can practically hear his smile through the phone.
Okay. Well, I don't know Speedy to be a particularly jolly guy, right?
He is not. No.
So hearing him this
I
happy
mean,
is
he's not
probably
completely against it. You've seen him smile and laugh at some jokes. He's not constantly angry, but he is, default angry mode. Default angry,
this is
like pouty face.
So is it fair to say though, then, like, this would stand out to to Hector as one of the happiest times he's kind of
Wait, yeah, I mean,
seen,
yeah, he's got something that
heard.
he is joyful about sharing with you guys. So
Okay.
And he's wanting.
All right, I'll let him know.
The what's the word? The place you're gonna meet is at a train yard in downtown El Paso. And usually the Anarchs don't go in the city either. At least not.
He wants to meet at a train yard?
At a train yard.
Okay. All right, say less. We'll meet you there. How long?
I mean, we're already here, so, take your time. Don't take too long.
All right, sounds good. So I hang up with him. I call Jack immediately.
Okay, well, we can skip through that. You guys want to meet somewhere, or do you want everybody to go meet at the train yard?
To meet directly there. That's the word I would pass.
Yeah, so yeah. Okay. Who's going to the train yard? You all got the call.
And I would tell them, hey, look, we have some important news coming from Valentina. And, I think I'm going to guess it sounds promising, and we all want to hear it.
Okay, Craig will go.
Okay.
Milo will go.
Okay.
I'm going.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. All right, everybody's there.
Ooh, that was fast.
I mean, you guys are like arriving one at a
The
time.
magic of editing. No, just kidding.
Okay. You're all here.
Oh, shit.
So,
Wait, why does this guy have telecom headset?
you guys are at the train yard, and Valentina is just standing, she's leaning against a train car. She looks quite a bit dirtier than that picture now. It's like she got cleaned up and dressed up for you guys' meeting, and it's been 3 weeks, and she hasn't taken a shower or changed her clothes. So she's starting to Raggedy Ann out a little bit.
It's nice to see you, Valentina. You said you needed to talk to us.
Yes. You guys are all here now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to see you all could all make it.
Hey.
Have something of a gift for you. Let me pull up my page on what she says. Here. So, an opportunity has revealed itself. And she pauses after she says that and looks around. An opportunity has revealed itself. Ahem. Reveal yourself. And
Hmm?
Who's supposed to be revealing themselves?
and Spider seems to just appear in much the same way that Mila does when she turns her invisibility off.
And nice to see that.
What? Yeah, I mean, if you had your shit on, you'd have seen him. He was just standing there.
I usually do. Especially when we're going to places I've never been before.
Then yeah, you saw him there. Okay, so... Okay, let me get into Spider. I gotta channel my Juicy. Because he did Spider like 20 years ago. Okay,
It just
okay,
sounds funny
guys.
you channel.
I've got something for you guys. It's gonna make you really happy. And he knocks on the train car door. And the door opens. And I should put Speedy in here. Vampire NPCs. I didn't put him. Fuck it. Is he still in the last thing that I did? No. Yeah, Speedy's here too. Maybe I'll go find him in a minute if I feel like it. So inside the train car is Speedy, and tied to a chair is this little Asian Korean guy. He does not have the headset on. And his clothes are bloody, and he looks a little bit like he's been smacked around. So,
What's this?
Spider closes the door behind you once you guys go in the train car. This is Frank Kim. So, Frank Kim is part of the FBI. And he has been watching a lot of our places, including your gym, he says, looking at Hector. And
Hector starts cracking his knuckles.
so this guy is the closest thing I've found to somebody who might know something. I mean, he does know something. He's not a nobody. I don't think he's on one of the big league guys yet, but yeah, I think he's gonna lead us where we need to go. So he's all yours now. And Spider slinks his way to the back to watch.
Thank you, Spider.
And Speedy
Does he have-
steps to the side too and says, Valentina said that this is you guys' job. So I warmed him up a little bit for you.
Does he have any fresh blood on his face?
Yes, he does.
I'm gonna go lick him.
And some of it's on Speedy.
Okay, I'm gonna go lick his face because I do want to freak him out. Like I do it purposefully, like all creepily to freak him out.
Make me
Yes.
a manipulation and intimidation roll.
Okay, I'm probably not real good at that.
And he's a human.
While she's doing that, technical question: can vampires throw up?
If you eat something, you do throw it up.
Okay, but if a vampire experienced something where it's like they would have thrown up, but they didn't have food.
Yeah, no,
they were just retched.
You're just gagging and dry heaving, I guess.
What am I rolling?
Manipulation and intimidation.
What the heck?
The roll I'm doing is for roleplay purposes.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, how do I do that?
While Mal is doing that, I go to like a corner and
click on the die for intimidation and then pull down manipulation from the window. It's easier than the other way around since the skill list is so long.
Okay. That's not something I normally do.
You have one level of manipulation and 0 in intimidation?
Correct.
Alright, well you got a success, so he's a little freaked out, but that's not a very good roll for you. You're not a scary person.
That's okay, I just wanted to... I wanted to start off that way to just catch him off.
What the fuck? No. Okay, so we've got a guest player for Agent Frank Kim. And
he's just regular.
Where Wind Rider comes in.
He's just regular human, right?
Yes, he is a human.
That's all I taste. I'm gonna go.
Anyone got a wet wipe?
What?
Anyone got a wet
broke
wipe?
Up a little.
I'm just not into getting licked.
Okay.
Seeing that he was shook though by her licking his face and being he got a little bit frightened. I think Hector wants to pile on the intimidation. This whole time been staring at him, and now he's gonna just stand over him like very close, just kind of loom over him.
Make me a
continuing to
composure and intimidation. Intimidation, composure.
Okay.
While he's doing that, Jack says, "I've got to step out for a second," and like before he can do anything, just opens the door and then slams it.
Mm-hmm.
Spider and Valentina would see Jack is like walks over to like that pole by the train car and is like retching.
Okay.
You said intimidation and composure, right?
Yeah. One success. So one success, Wind Rider. One success.
So now he's got 2 against
more
him, right?
intimidation. So I mean, they're trying to intimidate you, but they're not scary as fuck. But I mean, you know that you've been abducted
Yeah,
by blank bodies
the
and
wet wipe.
yeah.
The wet wipe thing was just bluster, and very clearly just bluster.
Yeah. Okay. So Valentina, who is not in the train car, walks over to Jack. You okay?
No, I'm not.
What set you
Fucking
off?
not okay. What's the problem? Problem is, the problem is that we're finally actually run into. Look, we're the bad guys. All the kindred, we're in the wrong. We're parasites on society. We all deserve it, but I try to fucking make it work. And now I'm face to face with what I hated the most. Actual good people who represent humanity.
Well,
Trying to do a good thing. And I don't know if I have it in me to do what they're about to do to him. And I need to,
think about your friend.
but
Right?
I'd rather die.
Well,
What'd she say?
she said, think about your friend. Or let them handle this. Now, there's nothing wrong with each member of a team having a skill.
I need to face it though. I can't. I gotta face it. I have to go back in. I'm just gonna walk back.
Okay, well they had a little bit of time without you, so let's see.
Exactly. Yeah.
Back inside the train car. That's you guys.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
I'm just trying to intimidate him, standing over him and just looking him over, giving him mean looks, not breaking my gaze.
So what are you guys?
I can't remember, and outside of character, Maya would probably know this. I'm just gonna ask: does Jessica have something that gets people to tell the truth, or no?
She can
I
maybe sense whether someone's lying or not with her premonition, but the fact is she's extremely good at reading people.
Okay.
Just with mundane everyday psychiatrist powers.
And I
Okay.
can do compulsions, I believe, just very simple ones, not as elaborate as Jack can.
Well, can you okay, then maybe I would just ask you this in character then. So I'm gonna look at Jessica and I'm gonna say, can you can you do your thing and say tell the truth or something, and then we can question them?
I'm just double checking the ability, that's all, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sestonn, did you want to just double check on my thing? Because I thought it's just like one of those, I could just give them simple commands and they have to oblige.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you say
mesmerize,
truth,
right? You've got mesmerize.
Yeah. So if she were to say tell the truth or something.
Yep. And usually it automatically works on mortals, but given the situation, I think you can expect him to attempt to resist it.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you do have mesmerize, so you can lock eyes with him and try to give him an order that he will follow, like like an enslaved zombie for a little bit of time.
Okay.
Or yeah. I don't know.
Why are you watching our places?
Okay, you mesmerize him and ask him that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is manipulation plus dominate for you, and intelligence plus resolve for him. So let me make the roll for you. Manipulation and dominate. Come on, character sheet. And then for him was resolve and intelligence. He's gonna roll 7.
Yeah, you're gonna have to roll that.
Yeah, I gotta roll for both of you. So,
Yeah, we're sitting in a campsite in my Bardo.
manipulation and discipline. Okay, so, and then he rolls 7. Okay, so we've got
4 successes.
All I did for Jessica was roll rouse. I clicked the wrong button. Here, this one. So Jessica got 2 successes and he got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ugh.
So you can feel yourself struggling. You know, you're working your way into his mind, and he is a rather intelligent person with quite a bit of actual resistance, and he pushes you out. And Agent Kim, you know what she just tried to do. You've never felt it before, but you've read about it. You know that they're capable of doing this. You know what she just tried to do.
Well, that ain't nice.
And where that came from.
Mm.
I re-enter at this point.
Yeah. It doesn't look like they started wailing on him or anything yet. Jessica's pulling away from him. She was staring at him like she's trying to dominate him.
Okay.
So, what are you guys? We got a name for what you guys are, but that's just what we assigned to you. What the hell are you?
I'll step forward. What's the name you guys got for us?
I don't want to know.
Blank bodies?
Blank bodies.
Blank bodies?
Yeah, I've got no idea what the hell you are, but you clearly are not human. As
Blank
far as I'm concerned, I'm in the invasion of the body statues. What are you?
Blank bodies.
Yeah, that's worse than spines of the cactus.
Listen to me, Agent Kim.
That's what that mage guy was doing. Are you guys controlled by mages?
Is it?
Well,
You
what?
don't know shit about mages. This is the first time anyone's ever talked to you about mages like it was a real life thing.
What?
Guys,
Well, then
quiet
who
for
are
a
you controlled by?
I just take orders, and I'm an IT guy. I just do the computer stuff, okay?
Were you the one who found Emily?
Was I?
It's up to you.
I think it would be unlikely that I would be the one.
Yeah. But it's up to you. If you want to pull that card, you can. In my head it was somebody a little bit more important than Kim, but if you want to pull that card, you can.
Yeah, it wasn't me. The subject
know
was
where
brought in
she
later.
In fact, you don't even recognize the name Emily.
Yeah,
unless you were the person that you know that was involved, the tech person that was involved in catching her. You don't even recognize that name. That's not how she's referred to in any of your
I
reports.
wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't, but I think it's safe to assume through context clues, I would know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's quite possible. You know they have somebody.
Yeah. No, that wasn't me.
Do you know
Just be
where
careful
she
just
is?
name dropping, guys.
Yeah.
Where
Look,
did they take the prisoners?
I don't think that I'm inclined to answer that question.
Agent Kim, you just said that you think that you may be in the body snatchers, that you don't know what we are. Do you think you're in a position to not answer? Do you think you're in a position to ask questions?
As far as I'm concerned, when I walked into this train car, I'm already a dead man.
If you're a dead man, why not? Well,
Because
let's see.
because I am a human citizen of the United States of America, and I am a patriot. I have no desire to destroy any of that.
So you'll support them just preying on just normal people who are just trying to make their way in this world.
Normal people don't do what you guys do,
Is
nor any of the other stuff that you continue to like survive on.
I don't use my gifts to hurt anybody.
Who'd we lose?
I don't know.
Serious.
serious? Yeah.
Okay.
Is Speedy still in there with us?
Yes, Speedy and Spider are like over in the corner watching you guys.
I'm going to go walk over to them and ask
Okay.
them, where did you find him?
I've been watching the yeah, this is Spider. I
Okay.
was watching the like the computer waves and the tech outlets and all of these like technical kind of side of things, and he was emailing someone else and I intercepted it, and they were talking about the specimen.
Okay.
And so I dug through his stuff, and everything stood out as him knowing more what he shouldn't know. So we we took him, and then I called Speedy.
And where was he?
We took him from his house.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Agent Kim.
Can you can you give me the address to the house? Can you write it down?
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay.
Agent Kim, let me say this. Things are more complicated than obviously you know, but things are also more
Alien, for all I
complicated.
know, I'm talking to an alien.
But things are also more complicated, we'll say morally and ethically, than you think they are as well. It's not as simple as just right and wrong, unfortunately. Much as I wish it were.
I'm part of the FBI, not the CIA.
Okay, I'm laughing out of character because that was like yes.
Laugh in character.
If
Go
you
for it.
want Jack to make a composure roll to not laugh, feel free to. Or if you think he wouldn't have laughed, then that's fine.
Yeah, we'll do a composure. Slight grin.
Do like composure and yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Good look.
Yeah, that's fine. What you rolled is fine.
Things are complicated, and it's not necessarily, we'll say, set in stone that you're not leaving this train car, if you catch my drift. It's we've got more options than you think we do. And you give us something, we can give you something, and you'll go on about your business for whatever happened.
Okay. You seem to be trying to speak with reason, so let me tell you where I'm coming from. All right? All I know is I was assigned this to this task force, and all I know is I was sent to do recon, and what I found was not human. And I'm willing to believe that you might be rational and all that. However, the questions that this raises are way higher than is far above my pay grade. However, I do know this. As far as I'm concerned, you guys could be, aliens or demons from another plane of existence or something else like that. And if just trying to talk me down and say, hey, we're going to be buddies and all that, that doesn't mean squat to me. You got to prove stuff. And even then, I'm just the IT guy. So you got to give me something to work with here. As I said, I don't know what the hell you guys are.
All right, I'm gonna to the rest of them.
This
Can
is
we-
when. Sorry, go ahead.
Can we do? And I'll say this in character. Can we have a strategy meeting real quick?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, we'll walk out of the train car. I mean, it's like, what does it matter if he knows we're strategizing? We can.
As you guys
know,
are leaving,
he
Speedy steps forward. Can I play with him some more while you guys are out?
Please do.
No. What? I look at my luck. She says.
Well, he's pissing me off. So we gotta figure this shit out, or I'm gonna eat him. So
Can I?
Don't.
Okay, well, Agent Kim heard that. We gotta figure this shit out, or I'm just gonna eat him.
yeah,
Damn it.
it's good. Don't worry about it.
Speedy seems happy with that and backs back to his spot in the corner, whispering stuff with the lady. Okay, you guys step outside. Valentina is outside.
Innocent
She's
people.
playing guard.
Innocent people.
Okay, guys. The reason I'm calling this very overt strategy meeting. Let's say.
Sorry, go ahead.
Let's say hypothetically we were able to get information from him on where Emily's location is. Okay. Question is, what do we do with him? And I am of the opinion that we should wipe all of his memories and send him back home. And I know that sounds crazy, but we're going to draw more suspicion on us if we kill him and one of their agents goes missing.
Why does that sound crazy?
He's just an IT guy.
To me, leaving a blood trail is not preferable anytime. Why? When have we ever done that?
Thank you, Hector.
Craig raises a hand. We could still try and make him think that he started doing drugs. Like, we never tried that idea.
But
I just don't understand. If we wipe his memory, then that solves the problem, right? Why give him a drug habit and all this weird stuff? That just sounds
Just because I don't like his stupid face.
This way he can think that the
Look
drugs
at him. He needs a
caused
drug habit.
I know where he lives, so we can watch him. I also have a bloodstone that I could put on his car, so we can see where he works.
Oh yeah, you could put it in the tread of one of his tires.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm thinking is,
if he's not for the FBI, then we know where he works.
what I'm thinking is, I go in solo, good cop. I tell him a bit about myself to get credibility, and then hopefully get some information from him. And then of course we wipe it anyway, so it doesn't matter what I tell him. I don't know how opposed you'd all be to this, but I really don't want to sure a guy who's honestly doing the right thing.
Wait, I don't understand. Why does it have to be? You don't have to be nice to him. I mean, you can be nice to him, whatever. What does it matter? We all just be standing in the room. So in case one of us has questions or something that you might have missed.
That's fair. I feel like he may be more forthcoming if I'm by myself. But so I'm talking with you guys.
It hasn't been brought up, but Jessica thinks is that it might be difficult to wipe his brain.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
What?
No, he's resisted. You know what? I need to. There's something else I haven't had a chance to even talk to you guys about, which is. I got an echo. So, Aaron took the kids and left town because he had a really bad premonition dream. But the other thing is, while I was trying to meditate on the whereabouts of Emily, I got a touch north. So if nothing else, if we can get a location of what is up north, where stuff is up north.
Well, it's hard to understand you now.
First, she told you about how Aaron Hopkins is taking the kids and leaving because he had a bad premonition. And then she said that she tried to use her own premonition to get a sense for where Emily is, and just got a sense of north.
Oh, okay. Wait, so she's alive?
In the yes,
Well,
as far
I
as I
mean,
can tell.
you don't know that for sure, but it's kind of hinting that way.
Well, that's fucking great.
Well, if
we
Emily didn't exist, it wouldn't give me a tug north.
Right.
can we Google him and have
I
him
was thinking about it.
tell us everything he knows, and if he knows, take us there?
But
What
we
sort of
also
town
run
does
the
he live
risk
on?
of
It'll
the
take
risk of
to get him completely bloodbound is going to take a few nights.
there's
Has Jessica relayed to us that she doesn't think that the mind wipe is going to work?
Yeah, because he.
I don't know. That's up to her if she wants to
because
tell you guys that he's going to resist it, and he's kind of strong in that area. So it's up to her if she
if
wants
we
to tell you
ghoul
that.
him, there's a chance that we'll lose him later. They'll separate him. The blood bond will break, and then we're all fucked. That doesn't seem feasible.
Unless you mind wipe. I don't understand. If we mind wipe him, problem solved, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
If it works.
it's just a. What do you mean if it works? He's a human. It works.
Well, we can try. Just because mine didn't work doesn't mean yours won't.
Wait, yours
What if we
didn't?
what if we test it? Like just something
I
that was
tried to
said a
go
few
through
minutes earlier.
to get some answers.
Well, does Jack have the same? Jack, do you have the same, like, do you have anything where you can kind of like manipulate him into telling the truth or anything?
I can mesmerize him,
So
which compels actions, but that can't pull information.
okay, so it's what she was doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I
true.
mean,
If he resisted, eventually he'll break down. Is my view. So we keep going at him until we break him down. Right?
Yeah, but Jack can cloud memory.
I can make him forget what immediately happens, so we can actually like read
yeah, I just
multiple times.
What
Yeah.
about no? That one.
I mean,
So,
we straight up offer him that choice. You know, we he cooperates. We wipe his memory. He keeps on living, or he dies tonight.
Yeah, and I'd also say
yeah, but I think
I don't think we should torture him because if well, one, I think we shouldn't, but two, if we release him later, I mean, who knows if they know that we have powers of getting into people's minds, checking people for torture and signs every day. Like we don't know how many precautions they're taking to basically check that their guys aren't compromised.
Well, I have an idea. While we have him here, and we know he's not going to be at home, what if I and maybe Mila go and look through his home? Even if he doesn't give us answers, maybe we'll find something there. I mean, maybe there's like hard copy files.
That sounds
do you think
like
his
a
house
decent
is
idea.
being monitored at all?
I mean, Spider got him.
Well, that's true. That's true.
You guys will just have to be careful. Bail if it seems suspicious or dangerous.
I need to learn an ability like the one where I don't show up on camera. Is that something that like Milo now realizes like that'd come in handy and she could start practicing that, or how does that work?
You'll have to learn obfuscate 4 in order to learn that.
Oh dang. Okay. So it's a while.
You already have obfuscate 3, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
I believe you have obfuscate 3 and
Okay.
Mask of Many Faces.
But that's kind of how it works, right? Like you realize this is a skill you could have that's needed, and you start practicing it. Or
Yeah, you'll have to every time that you get a new rating in a discipline, then you learn a power.
Right. But I'm
So-
just saying, because don't we have to connect it and make it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that would work.
Well, I mean,
Well,
it's not so you don't have to worry about it that much with disciplines. With disciplines, it more depends on that you are trying to learn this, but you're not trying to learn it through study. You're trying to learn it by feeding on the right people.
Oh, okay. And I have obfuscate. How do you say that shit? 2 because I took one away to get
Okay.
blood source straight because it matched.
Then I think that it is an obfuscate 3 power, so you just need obfuscate 3.
Okay.
Let me look and be
So,
sure.
I mean, I
Well, I
can't
got
do
it.
that right now, but I might check into that for next time because this is the second time I would have liked to have it.
Well, I mean, can't she just wear a mask? I mean, like right before we enter the property, can't she just slip on a mask?
Yeah. Ghost in the Machine is obfuscate 3. So for 15
Okay.
points, you can learn it.
Yeah. Okay. But that's fine. So we can do that, and I can go invisible and check out his house.
Sounds like a good idea to me. While we talk with him.
All right. Spider told me that he, in his email, he used the word specimen. So if you want to ask him about the specimen, you can use
I
that
will.
word. Maybe
Alright.
that'll help.
Okay. The other two of you ready?
Yeah.
I was more directed towards Hector and
Okay,
Jessica.
so who goes back inside?
I do.
Jack,
And I'll
Hector, and Jessica?
And Hector will just stand in the corner of the room.
Okay. You go stand with Spider and
Oh,
Sweetie?
no, he'll probably stand on his own on the other side, like in the other corner. So I mean, he's no longer directly looking at the guy trying to intimidate him. He's just watching now.
Okay.
He's staying quiet.
Okay. I'm gonna approach, and he's tied to a chair, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually drop to a knee to get on his level. All right, Agent. I'm gonna level with you. All right. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna tell you some stuff, some truth, because this is an exchange. And what I'm telling you is not bullshit. I used to be human. Okay?
Okay.
Body snatchers.
Take that as what you may. Think about the implications of that. I was turned into this. Not by my choice, by the way. I used to be a detective. I used to be on your side. And I never wanted to leave that side, forcefully taken from it, thrust into a world I don't understand, no ability to control it, except kill myself. Okay? So now you understand where I'm coming from. Because I don't want all this shit that's going down. And frankly, if I had things my way, I would be on your side, and I never would have come over to this side. Just as certain of my cause as you are, because I frankly think you're in the right. But I also think, you don't know this, there's scarier shit out there than us. And we're having to deal with it. And indirectly, protecting the United States. Are you following?
Okay, sure.
So there's a lot of scary shit, more than just us. And it could be very worse, significantly. Okay, so I've given you some info. This is truth. Can you give me something back? This specimen. Where are you keeping her?
Well, 1 second. I'm looking up.
Why don't you
All
make
right.
me first, Jack? Make me a charisma and persuasion roll. We'll see how well your speech goes.
Both. But that is okay, because that is what I try to do. I'm trying to be sincere.
You
with
don't
him.
have any
One die.
presence, right? If you have some
not
presence,
one
you can
that.
pour it in that.
I have a presence. Wait,
Is it on Daunt or Awe?
it's on Dawn.
Yeah, then don't worry about it.
Yep.
Okay.
Woo!
How
One
well did you do?
success. I have one die, and I succeeded with a 10.
Oh, you don't have any points in persuasion?
No, and I have
Okay.
1 point in charisma.
In charisma?
My high
Okay.
manipulation, not charisma, but that's what I was doing. I was trying to persuade him.
Okay. So he's
Do I
got
have any points?
yeah. So considering the
About-
fact that a normal person, well not too normal, like a normal talky person playing good cop probably would have got 2 successes, he only got 1. But it was a success, not a failure. So keep that in mind.
You're gonna tell me where the specimen is?
How about I save the both of us some trouble? I don't know where the specimen is. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, you can have the two guys over there who've been licking their chops work me over some more, but I really don't know where the hell they are.
All right, can I try to get a read to see if he's being truthful in my?
Hector also does the same thing. Tries
That's
to get
going
a
to
read.
be wits and insight. Or insight and wits is easier to pull up. That's what you're good at.
Yeah.
Okay. How? Let's see.
It's
Did I
bad
give
luck.
you? Did I write in there that you knew where the specimen is?
I have
You know
a
that they have one.
somewhat,
Yeah, I
but
think
I
you
have
know
no
where it
idea where it
is.
specifically is.
Yeah, not specifically, but you know that it's on that base.
Oh,
Not-
okay. That's more information than I thought I had.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
you know that it's on that base. So if you want to tell them that, go for it.
Jack would have spotted if he's lying. That's 5 successes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Look.
Firstly, I thought I was telling the truth with that.
Yeah. So
Okay, well then
Yeah,
why don't we? No, you don't know. You don't know where the specimen is. You know they moved
Okay.
stuff. You know they moved stuff from the prison to the base, but you
Yeah.
don't know where the specimen is because there are multiple places that it could be.
Yeah.
Okay, so no,
So
you
I
don't
try
know-
to catch.
yeah. We'll stick with
I try to
the way you answered since you thought you were telling the truth. You were telling the truth.
I try to catch Jack's eye and see if he believes him because I can't. I'm fucking oblivious
Oh yeah, you
right
didn't.
now.
Like oh.
Yeah, I just give him back a look of like I guess however I would communicate, he seems sincere.
Yeah.
But
You could take a guess at where the specimen might be. You know, if they start forcing you to guess, but no, you don't know where it is.
okay.
Oh, look. And so then this is what I bust out from the corner and say, then who would know?
Some of my superiors, I suppose, but they could be hell and gone from anywhere by now.
Okay, so you don't know specifically where she is. What about places? I'm gonna pull out my pen and paper. Start giving me places. Give me ideas. Talk to me here.
Yeah.
Give me your best guess, please.
Okay, so there's that base that's north of the city. Inside Fort Bliss, there's also a place where the Special Task Force has an office set up, and so it could be there. It is not at the normal city FBI office, and then of course there could also be a safe house somewhere that you aren't familiar with. So the two places that you know of are the base to the north. There's a small army base to the north of the city. It's it's part of the military base, but it's it's part of Fort Bliss, but it's off to the side. And then on Fort Bliss there is a place where the entire agency, the entire task force is set up, and so The specimen is most likely to be in one of those two places unless it's in hiding.
All right. I'll convey that with the caveat of, okay. Once again, I don't know what the hell you are, and I know you can pull a few tricks. Great, nice, and all that. But unless you really have like about a couple hundred of you all going at once, you're not getting in there. We're talking Fort Bliss here. Granted, the army themselves may not know exactly what's going on, but all it takes is one heads up from us, and they are going to be on your ass. And I'm being sincere here. If our roles were reversed, I would just pray that, it gets over quick.
To Fort Bliss. I've got that. What else? Another place? What are the odds that they keep her at the El Paso FBI office?
No, we're not going to do that. Okay. No insult meant here, but once again, as far as we're concerned, you guys could be aliens. So we're not going to put a alien in handcuffs in the bureau headquarters. We're going to put that in a heavily secured area that not only is heavily secured but could call reinforcements at the drop of a hat.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not trying to be mean here, but
No,
come on.
Okay. I'm gonna head over to Hector real quick, and I'm just gonna whisper to him. What other questions do you think we could ask him in relation to getting her back? Because I'm thinking about pivoting right now to seeing what other information they know about Kindred more generally.
I'd want to get the list of the people specifically that would know exactly where she is,
Fair.
and maybe be able to get us who might be able to tell us how to use alternative methods to get in there and get her out.
Exactly. Because he's right. Getting in forcefully is a no-go. But if we have people that we know, it gives us more options and flexibility on techniques to get her out. Go back over to him. Hey, look.
Sestonn, out of character. If memory serves, the blank bodies thing is because of a device, and which is how the government picked them up. Would that be?
I have
would
no
I know
idea.
if
I
that-
have no idea why they call them blank bodies. I really have.
Oh.
In
Well,
my
then-
personal opinion, I think it's because,
Didn't they discuss it in the first 30 pages of the? I thought I remembered seeing that somewhere.
They might have. There was a big ass fucking thing on that.
I read it a long time
but
ago.
I have no idea why they call them blank bodies. And I'm not
if
going to
memory
read 30
serves,
pages right now in
Yeah.
hopes that they
Yeah.
give a definition for that word, because they still might not even give a definition for that word. So.
All right, then that's more of a meta question. I'll let that go.
Right.
Hey, look, if you can.
To me, it
So you
means
say you don't
soulless,
know.
but I don't know, if that's where it came from or not. I'll ask Google.
Who would know? Names, specific names.
Okay, we are getting to the uncomfortable part of the interrogation here. Yeah, I'm not giving that up without a fight.
All right,
Beat
well,
me
look,
up, smack me over. Go ahead, whatever.
Let me explain it this way. I'm not. You're with the Bureau. You've gotten training. You know how interrogations go. It's not always one person in the lead. Things change, things pivot. I'm taking charge right now. My method is to do what I sincerely want to do, which is ask you questions and hope you give me answers. The other people want to torture you and then kill you. I don't want them to torture you, but if I can't get it, they're going to. Please
All right. Here's the thing.
don't let that happen to you. 'Cause I don't want it to. And Jack is
Ed,
actually like legitimately tearing up slightly. No shit.
I
His
appreciate
tears
where you're
are
coming
blood.
from. I appreciate where you're coming from, but in the to use the army as a example here, as a prisoner of war, I am only obligated to tell you so much. At this point, that is outside of everything that I am obligated to tell you, and I think I actually gave you way more. However, that what you're asking me to do right now is not it might put someone's lives in danger. No, you are asking me to put other people in my seat right now. That's not going to happen without me putting up a fight. And if that means I'm dead, that means I'm dead.
All right, here, look, listen. Okay, so you're in the seat in this condition because we had to go out and find you. And unfortunately, we had to use him to come find you because we had no way else to find you. So I'm sorry you got the treatment that you did. However, it's kind of important that that you understand something here. Like Jack, I used to be human too. I was taken from my life forcefully. I was living my happy life, helping people over their issues, getting them free to live their best life, and then I end up here. And so the best thing we can do is protect people with what the situation we got. We got a shit situation, but we're not going to kill ourselves. But the thing is we're kind of like the last line between the United States and some really bad boogeymen. Like really bad boogeymen. And
Yeah, I'm gonna step away.
Persuasion roll for her.
yeah,
But when she's done talking, I'm gonna Hector's gonna step away from the wall if she hasn't done the trick at that point, and he'll start talking.
While I make this roll for Jessica, blank bodies has something to do with the lack of temperature. That's what it says in Google.
So they probably don't get picked up on the forward-looking infrared.
Yeah.
yeah. But here's the thing, though: if we don't have to go find these guys out, I don't have to use these people to find them. I could just approach them and ask them without them being yanked from their lives and getting beat up. That's
You've got persuasion rhetoric. Is this a rhetoric?
I'm just trying to convince them to start talking.
I'm gonna give it to you.
I think rhetoric is when you're trying to. Okay.
Okay, so
Because when you're
this
giving speeches,
persuasion has
kind of a
3 successes on it. If you want to spend willpower, you have plenty of fails.
I'll spend willpower.
Okay. We'll just roll 3 dice separate. Oh wait, there we go. No. Let's roll D10. 3d10, and I'll go and fix it. Okay. So these are 8. Oh wait, they didn't finish. Six, 1, and 4. You got one more, so you have 4. 4 successes on that persuasion. That's pretty persuasive. So take that and do what you want with it, Agent Kim.
Well, Tim's mindset on this is he's been, tonight he's been, hit with a whole lot of information, but at the same time, he is a, law enforcement officer. He's dealing with people that he knows are literally predating on normal citizens, and although he is hopeful that this could end in a more peaceful resolution, he really is having a hard time justifying giving names.
Okay, so you're considering it,
Um,
but still, no. It's. I mean, I don't want
Yeah.
these other people to be in the same position that I'm in. Okay, Hector's up.
So listen, Agent. I feel differently than these two. I'm not sorry about what I am. We exist in this world. We are what we are. And honestly, when I first became what I am, I did feel kind of like them because I didn't know. I was scared. I was operating on ignorance. Now I know better. I exist in this world just like you do. We, as you've been dealing with us, don't make it a habit of running around killing humans. In fact, we try to avoid it at every juncture. And we're protecting you and the United States from actual other things that really would wreck humanity. But your people decided to take one of ours and subject her to torture and all kinds of other horrific things and then kill her. So you think about who's the real monster, us who haven't killed you, or the people in your laboratories or whatever the hell that's going on right now that are doing something horrible to one of us. Here's the thing, you won't even have to live with any guilt. Just help us get her away from your people, and tomorrow you won't even remember this, but you won't have done a bad thing. Because whatever we do to the next person is going to be just as civilized as you sitting in this chair right now and talking to them and convincing them. We just want our friend back and we leave you alone. We don't want to do to you people what you're doing to us.
Okay, Hector, make me a charisma and persuasion roll, and I'm going to give you a bonus of 1 die for making sense to me.
All right. Charisma.
I agree. Super persuasive, in my opinion.
Charisma.
I was gonna say if we do that thing where we talk about what we liked best about whatever. I think that was a really good speech.
Thanks.
I can give it my best friend for that.
Yes.
I
You
got
get
3
a gold
successes.
star.
Okay.
She
3
man
successes.
an Oscar. So no, it's
It's
his
not
3
pulling up
successes.
for me, so I guess
Best
3
he can do.
successes. Oh, it's pulling up a chat bar over
That's
there.
peak persuasive Hector. Keep in mind.
Yes.
So he
All
gave
right.
you a couple of outs to consider. So
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna say that with extreme reluctance, he's gonna fold.
okay.
But at the same time, I think that's going to be the end of as far as he's willing to cooperate.
Okay, so what are you willing to give up?
They are asking for names of superiors who would know where the specimen is and all that. I give them the most well-guarded people who know that answer.
Okay, well, the most well-guarded is Special Agent Garcia, who is the head of the task force. And then a couple of other people that you can name if you want. Or their names don't even matter yet because I haven't invented them yet.
All right, so yeah. I'll go with that then.
Okay. So he tells you Special Agent Garcia. He even
tells
tells
about
you
the
that this is the leader of the task force. And then he gives you a couple of other names of people I haven't invented yet. Blah
just
blah
a few
A, blah blah
miscellaneous people who
X.
would have been lower down.
Yeah. People who are higher up the chain than him.
Cool.
When he starts giving us the names, Hector looks at him sincerely and says, "You won't regret this. Thank you."
Yeah. Jack, as he finishes writing.
You never brought up the
Jack,
cure.
as he finishes the.
What?
You never brought up
Huh?
the cure, did you?
They didn't ask.
Okay.
Wait, shit, what?
I didn't say nothing. You
That's
didn't
cool.
hear nothing.
Okay. Cool.
Damn it! Shit! Oh my god, no! I need a cure.
Oh, she's the specimen for something.
Oh my god, I totally let her die to get a cure. Sorry, no, I don't say that out loud. Obviously, because of the
No, you can't say that out loud because
yeah,
this is an out of character topic.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
you guys don't know shit about the cure, or that they're working with Dr. Argyle.
Oh man, if they could do that cure, oh boy, get back on Team Humanity forthwith. Anyway,
maybe you guys should have worked with Dr. Argyle 20 years ago.
Yeah, shit, we should have.
Is he the one that gives me blood bags? Oh, no, he's the creepy one from the motel, huh?
He's the creepy one from the motel.
I thought he was also a mage.
He is also a mage, but you guys don't know that.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, yeah, after I finish writing it all down, I like wiped the blood away off my face and I'm like, thank you so much, because I really didn't want to have. Thank you.
Okay, Art,
Yeah,
you guys
make
are
me
gonna wipe
forget.
his mind or what? Let's
Oh,
wrap
yeah,
this up.
I mean-
It's already been 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Agent Kim, are you going to resist having your mind wiped, or are you going to surrender to it? You could be of the opinion that you resist it. Maybe they won't notice and they let you go with full knowledge.
I
Or you
think
could
I'm
also
gonna
be
let
of the
the dice
opinion that
decide that one.
let's just erase it.
I think I'm gonna do a resolve roll and let the dice decide.
Okay. So it's going to be intelligence
So
and
you're
resolve
doing-
again.
Are you doing resolve to decide if you'll resist, or you're
Yeah.
resisting?
Okay, you want to make a resolve roll to see? It is 3.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so your 3 die resolve. I mean, did it do it? My thing's kind of fucked up.
That's 2 successes.
Okay. So you got 2
That seems
successes
good.
on your resolve of 3 dice. So that's pretty good.
So he will resist.
Yeah. Let's roll his 7 resistance.
Damn. Okay. I do manipulation and dominate.
Okay. Well, I don't see dice anymore, so you have to tell me how it went.
I'm really wanting this to succeed, so I'm going to rouse to boost my manipulation to 5.
Cool. Yep.
Because this is like, if it fails, we're fucking screwed.
Yep. So yeah, you rouse and then add 2 dice to the roll.
Okay, and then dominate. How do I? Okay, I do a dominate roll, and then I wait. Did it work?
Next to your dominate, you'll select manipulation and discipline, and then when it asks you, add +2.
Okay. Oh, I boosted. Okay,
Okay, if you just rose the
might-
stat, then that's fine. Then don't
I'll just
add
do the
+2.
+2.
Okay.
It's learning. Okay. All right.
How many successes did he get on his 7 dice? You'll have to count them manually. Anything that's
I'm
a
gonna
6
do
or
a
above.
willpower reroll, but 1, 2, 3. He got 4 successes.
Okay.
I got 3, but I'm gonna willpower reroll.
Okay.
So I've got. There's a max of 3 that you can willpower reroll, right?
Yeah, and only from your black dice. You can't re-roll your blood dice.
Exactly.
Your
Yeah,
hung
well, I've got
dice.
a 1, a 3, and a 2, so I'm
Okay,
gonna.
then yeah, you can do all 3 of them.
Yeah, so let's do 3. That's 3 more successes. That's
Okay.
6 successes.
He's wiped.
Thank God.
Okay, what memories
tell
do
for
you
sure?
build for him? Oh yeah, you can tell for sure.
Yeah, I felt it succeed. I, however, Vampire does, felt myself changing
Yeah,
his
you are
memories.
rewriting his memories right now. Go ahead and rewrite them. Tell him what you want to.
So we're gonna. What did Spider say? They broke into his home and kidnapped him, basically.
Yes.
And this was in the middle of the night. So,
It was a few hours ago.
So he got mugged.
could I just rewrite it and basically be like, he just wakes up like nothing happened?
Yeah.
Like he never, like nothing happened.
Yep. He doesn't remember what happened. Yep.
I think
what the
that's
fuck?
the safe.
Why is my face hurt?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Because it'd be weird for him to get up in the middle of the night. So unless anybody has any objections, I think that's the correct decision. It's just nothing happened, and he wakes up like nothing happened.
Okay, and you
Just
guys take him
normal
home.
in his pajamas.
When you guys take him home, when you get there, Mila and Craig are going through his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys find anything?
What are you looking for?
Find anything? I think we were looking for any I guess any correspondence or anything that shows where he works or
Anything that might help us find Emily.
yeah, I mean if you look
Any
at
kind of notebook?
His
try and
computer is missing. You find a place for a home desktop. It's gone.
Oh crap. Okay. It's possible Spider took it. I didn't ask him.
What else? There is some mail, like he receives. I don't know.
Bills.
Yeah, he gets bills. I can't
Car
think of
lot
anything that would be
advertisement.
useful for you.
Okay.
Except what's
Few
on the
Maxim
computer that
magazines.
Spider took already.
And then Mila's gonna take some time to just make sure because you never know if there's some weirdo connection somewhere that there's no like flakes or anything like that.
Oh yeah, you're gonna look around for black flakes.
Yeah, get off
Okay.
the shadow.
Make me an.
Okay, but don't sit on him.
We're gonna go with resolve because you're gonna have to spend time like digging around and looking all over the place. So resolve and investigation.
Okay, let me get that. I wasn't at my computer. But yeah, just to make sure. Resolve. Where's resolve?
Start with investigation because it's easier.
Yeah,
investigation, resolve.
Resolve.
Tell me what you got because I don't see it.
4 successes.
Yeah, you don't find anything.
Okay. Alright, I just wanted to double check.
You are pretty confident.
Okay.
You didn't find anything.
Okay.
And I guess Craig was
but his
sniffing
computer's
around.
gone.
Yeah, and Craig was sniffing around. You don't find. I mean, there's nothing seems out of place. His computer is missing. If there are any other like little tech things, like maybe he had a tablet, it's missing. You know.
Okay, so there's nothing.
Spider's already done what you guys are doing.
Right. Okay. All right.
So this guy's gonna wake up and his computer's missing?
Yes, and he's all beat up.
Oh, they beat him up too?
Yeah, they beat him up before you got here. A little bit.
Yeah, that's why.
Not really bad, but a little bit. He's gonna wake up with a black eye and a sore lip.
What? Okay, well that changes how I. Yeah, if I had knew that, okay. Then
Speedy was playing with him before you guys got here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna change my rewrite to, he went out last night and went to a bar and got drunk and got in a fight with somebody, and he's not really sure how the fight went, but he know it wasn't good. And then he went back home. Oh, he had a computer though.
He definitely drove himself back home too, so he feels bad about that. How about that?
Yeah, drove
What if
himself.
could somebody have broken into his house and like beat him up and took his computer and then just left him? But he doesn't remember who?
You don't
Let's
want.
see.
Well, wouldn't
This
You don't
is
want
Jack's
anyone
story.
doing that.
It was the darkie.
Oh, that's true
Well,
because yeah, okay. Shoot, I don't know.
because I like Jack. I like where Jack's going with it. One of them is lapse in judgment by this guy, and he
Yeah.
goes to a bar, gets drunk. He brought his laptop for some reason, or he had it in his car because he was working from his car on the way to the bar. He made a bad decision. He drank too much, got in a fight, all that stuff, and then somehow he must have lost his laptop because maybe we can take his car and kind of bang it into a few things. So it looks like he
We
was
could
drunk
bust
driving.
out the window. Makes it look like someone did a smash and grab.
No, I mean, you don't want to put it on other people, right? Like, why would other people, like, we don't want him thinking, oh, somebody stole my laptop for the purpose of
Yeah,
getting
because then
something.
he's like gonna maybe make a police report. Whatever.
Yeah.
When it's all his
Okay.
own fault.
So maybe think he somehow lost it.
Yeah,
What
he
if
got
he
really,
sold
really
it
drunk.
like on Craigslist or something? Well,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
he would have
Let's
to.
have he had his laptop in his bag. He went to a bar, got real drunk, got in a fight. He's not really sure what happened. He got home somehow, and he doesn't know where his computer is.
There you go. Let's pour a bunch of beer on him.
Yeah. Okay. Poor
Yeah.
guy.
On his
Agent
breath,
Frank
too.
Kim doesn't even drink. Man, he had a bad night.
He's
Yeah, I mean,
alive.
could you imagine he just wakes up like normal and looks in the mirror, like first of all aching, and then sees he has a black eye missing, and he'd be like, "Well, like, damn, these people are stupid."
He's alive and he didn't wake up in my basement, so it could be worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
all
thought for
things
sure he was going to be a ghoul.
mission
I did too.
success.
I wanted to do that.
I told Windrider you guys might dominate him like all the crazy hell. You could kill him. You could blood bond him. You could embrace him.
Yep.
There are all kinds of things.
Well, the problem with ghouling him is we'd have to keep him.
Yeah.
Who knows what?
You'd have to keep him in there for a few days at least. There are
Yeah,
six
like
levels.
that'll drop.
There are 6 levels
Mhm.
of blood bond, and you're not even considered to be fully blood bonded until 3. And you can only do 1 a day. So you guys would probably have to like keep him in the train car or something for a few days till he starts
Yeah,
becoming
and
somewhat
that
bonded.
would create all kinds of flags. It'd be way suspicious when he got there. They'd probably,
Well, you'd have to wipe his memory until that.
yeah.
Well, couldn't he just call in sick and say it's a flu or something?
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, but it would still be sus. Like, and he may not even be. He may be here on a deployment, and then they move him somewhere else later, and now we can't keep contact with him. The bond gets broken, and like we don't know how much they know about the blood bond. They may have countermeasures already to like procedures to like break it.
Yeah.
And then boom, it's like, oh crap, I'm free again. Let me tell you everything now that I've become like a double agent.
Yep. Okay, so
Triple agent.
here's the next question. What's next? What are you guys going to do? Where do I write the
Let's go
story
after
for next
Garcia.
time?
Let's go after Garcia.
I think it's safe to say that, yeah, we don't have any. Obviously, we can't bust in and get her. So we're going to need to do something where we can find somebody that we know has access and then basically do a, like, in terms of, like mesmerize them.
Yeah. He
to,
gave you a
like,
few
free
names.
her.
He gave you a few names. He gave you Garcia, and then he gave you, like, 2 names of, like, Garcia's seconds.
Hmm.
So.
Wouldn't it be to ask Spider to look into
The addresses too, right?
Well.
He wouldn't know where they lived.
Yeah, he's not going to know where they live.
Oh, okay.
And that's if they actually
Yeah, that's
have
what I was
places here.
Yeah.
It's,
We
Garcia has
can't let
family.
the guy have. Yeah, we'd have to push him for that. Like, how do we get to Garcia? Like, there's no way he's giving me, especially a common name like Garcia, and I'm just letting him go.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he had to
Well,
actually give us like a
Jack
place
knows
where we could
Garcia.
find this.
well, I know Garcia distantly.
Mhm.
There's that.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't know where these guys live.
Yeah, that it's not reasonable to
He
expect him
knows
to
where
know their
they work.
addresses. He get
But
their
we-
car information, but even then, they may be changing cars.
Did Mila put a bloodstone on the agent's car?
Yeah, she probably did.
Yeah, put one in his tire tread. I'm sorry, but that is the most clever shit to put in the tire tread. Like no
Yeah,
one will ever
I would
think
for sure.
anything on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll never be seen.
Right.
Worst case scenario, it falls out of the tread.
And what I
Darn.
like about it too, it's not like technology or anything, so they can't track it.
Yeah, there's like, sir, something suspicious. What?
Mhm. Yep. So yeah, for sure, I'll put that in the tire tread.
It's like, damn it, Jenkins, get back to work, you idiot. Little did they know, Jenkins was a genius. Could have saved humanity. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe it's getting late for me, so I'm gonna need to go.
Okay, well, I guess
Maybe
we
talk
can
about it.
discuss it in the chat tomorrow.
Yeah.
For tomorrow in the next couple of days when we decide like what the next part of the story is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're
We
not
got 2
gonna do
weeks.
any like experience talk or nothing. Everybody gets one experience, and then we're gonna go to bed.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Have a good night, guys. It was a real fun one.
Good night. Did you
Good
put your
night.
experience?
Stuff, guys.
Oh, I didn't, but I'll do it next time. I'm at 0, so
All right.
after
Yeah,
one.
yours is
Can
easy.
you find me?
Yeah, I will put Jessica's.
I got mine. I just
All
had
right,
it.
cool.
Got mine too.
Okay, I just need to put Jessica's then.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Okay, good
Night,
night.
everybody.
Good
See ya.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Come on, computer.
Dude.
We're almost done. Just gotta click over here.
Oh, just so you know, I already changed I already added the second point to animalism.
Yeah, you got that. You got it in between the first scene that we did and the other scene that was 3 weeks later.
No, but I already put it in the character sheet.
Okay, good. Did you pay for it with the experience?
Yeah, I have 1 experience to spend. I don't know what you can buy with 1 experience, but I have
Nothing.
1 experience to spend.
Pretty much takes 3 to buy anything.
All right.
And let's
cool.
stop the recording. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show.